Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. And when I say we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, Dee. Dee, what's happening?
Awesome week. I feel like we need to change up the beginning of this a little bit.
Yeah, think so?
I'm getting tired of being introduced as your brother.
Yeah? Well, what do you want to be introduced as? This guy across the table from me?
Maybe.
Yep, the co-host.
My old, yeah, and the co-host in Nimmin Live, my older and significantly wiser brother, perhaps.
Okay.
Just floating it out there. You guys can let us know what you think. We need a different intro.
Yeah,
A little bit, feeling a little bit, been doing that for years.
Stale?
A little bit stale.
Yeah.
Need to mix it up.
Yeah, like my older, more handsome, more intelligent, far more intelligent brother that I could never...
and then maybe put emphasis on older.
Yeah, older.
Anyway, how was your week, everybody? I missed you. I hope you had some wins. Hope you hit some milestones. Hope you're happy and healthy.
Yes.
Hope nobody's referring to you as just their brother, kind of passing you off, something like that. Do we have YouTube news?
We don't have any YouTube news, so not much is going on in terms of YouTube,
questions.
you know, rolling out anything, you know, super interesting or anything like that right now. So because of that, we do not have, you know, much about YouTube today. However, there is something that I do want to bring to your attention that's pretty interesting. So you guys know that, you know, Opus Clip sponsors, you know, this stream. I do a lot of work with them, you know, sponsorship-wise, just around my channel, things like that. And they have a really cool tool that I just want to show to you guys. And before I show it to you, with this, basically, the tool itself is called Agent Opus, and it's a part of Opus Clip. And with this tool, it is blowing my mind in terms of what it can do. And, you know, like sometimes I'll hype things up a little bit to where, you know, I'm like, hey, this is like, you know, super cool, and it is cool, but maybe, you know, I personally get a little too excited about it because I'm excited about the technology. But with this, it's just really interesting, and it's going to blow your mind as well, too. But before I show you this, there's a couple different ways that you can use this. One is you can use it to make just, you know, raw videos where you can just type in text and it'll just make everything for you. You can also do it to where you can upload audio into this, and then it'll make the video out of your audio, which is great and has your voice and all that stuff. And then if you want to, another interesting way that you can use this is you can say, okay, I made this short, and I would love to have some complimentary B-roll with this. That would just really put an emphasis on some of the things that I'm saying that, you know, it wouldn't be the whole video. I would just be essentially using it as B-roll. And then you can have, you know, your short that you make, and then you can download this, and you can just insert clips of it to use as B-roll to visually demonstrate some of the things that you're talking about. So I'm going to show you this demo real quick. And with this one, what I did is I put up a short, just an encouraging short, you know, just kind of, you know, a thing just to kind of, you know, inspire, you know, content creators. And let me get this loaded here on my side really quick. But basically the whole thing is about 3 things that you can do right now to start making your videos better. And I just want you to check this out because this is mind-blowing. Now, one of the things it did screw up on, and I'm just going to, you know, show you what those things are, you know, right now. So one of the things that it did screw up on is, as you can see here, it has me as a woman, which, you know, I mean, you know, there's a little secret I've been hiding from you guys. No, I'm just kidding. It has me as a woman. So
it's gonna be a weird show today.
So it got, you know, it got that part incorrect. And then besides that, though, there are a couple of things throughout the video where it will turn the message sideways. But once those 2 things get worked out, I'm super blown away by how this turned out. So check this out.
If you're a content creator, here are 3 things you can start doing right now to make your videos better. First, control your lighting. When you control your lighting, it's all up to you, and you can make everything look exactly how you want it to look without any outside influence. 2 is to make your audio sound better. When your audio
that's one of the
good,
sideways ones right there.
It increases the perceived quality of your content. This is important because a lot of creators sound like this. All you have to do is get some type of microphone closer to your face. It doesn't matter if it's something like this. It doesn't matter if it's a podcast style microphone, or if it's something little and tiny like this. Just getting it closer to you is going to increase the perceived quality of your content, because audio is half of the video experience. And the third thing is try to have a good time. When you're communicating with the camera, if you're having a good time, people are going to feel it. If you're like, oh my God, people are going to feel that too. Hang in there. You got this.
Yeah, so for me, I like how it like ended on the fist bump for "you got this." And another really cool thing about this too is how it took the the microphone references. So basically, I was just talking about the references in that audio clip, and it just assumed like this, and then it showed a different type of microphone. Then it showed the Shure, and then or the podcast mic, and then it showed the little lapel mic. Now there's some weird stuff in the transition for the lapel mic. It was like this floating arm that happened. But besides that, though, it's pretty cool in terms of what's possible with this. So I know it's not for everybody, but for those of you that are interested in this, you can actually use this for free right now with Opus Clip, because what they're doing is they're trying to just fine tune it, make it as good as they possibly can. So I'm just going to drop the link into chat here, and then you guys can bookmark this if this is something that you want to check out after the stream, or you just want to play with to see how it'll work with your content. But you can type in what it is that you want it to say, or you can just upload audio. But one of the cool things about this also that I didn't show is when you do go there, they also have a bunch of different styles. So with that one, I just used an animation style, but they have different styles where you can write with a pen, or it draws it with a pen. They have claymation style. They have what they call cottage style, all kinds of different stuff. But you can check it out for yourself if you go to that link. But it's really interesting. So for me, go ahead.
The technology, regardless of where you stand on AI, I think it's cool that, because this is, the fact you can just put audio into it.
Right.
Just throwing audio into something.
That's why I wanted to highlight it, because it's like, whoa.
Just the technology, how it's moving forward. And what we were talking about before the stream is, while that is an animation, and there are some animation styles, the countdown, people can already make realistic looking videos.
Right.
So we probably have maybe a year and a half before you can just put that same audio and you have real people.
Yeah.
Like that's coming so fast. And that's, I told him I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Right.
Like that's amazing, and it scares the hell out of me at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. So with that, David Matney says, how much is it? So right now it's free. So when they open it up and they lock it down, I should say, and they start charging for it, I'm not sure how much they're going to charge. But right now, at the moment, it's free. So I think you get like 3 generations a day or something like that for free. So with that, like in your case, David, like a way that you could use this is like, let's say, well, see, because that's their motion designer. They have a motion designer tool that's pretty cool also for making like video graphics and stuff. You might want to try and see what this comes out with, but like talk a lot about Omaha, or just type it in and talk a lot about like Omaha and, maybe some of the things around Omaha, and just see if it, represents those in a cool way that you might be able to use in like some B-roll or something like that. Keep in mind with this current version, it's vertical. So because of that, it would be something you would use in shorts, not necessarily your, regular long form content. But it would be a good way to, just get some, extra footage essentially, that you can use in your videos.
Try it on a different channel, even.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Yep.
Hey, Rob, how you doing? Rob Maritimer is getting ready to hit 100,000.
Oh, nice.
He's getting
nice
ready
work,
to
Rob.
cross the line.
Nice. Love it.
To get the play button.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Early congratulations on that, Rob. I don't
Nice
think you're going to hit that probably any time now. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And let's see here. I'm wondering if you can change the style of that. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. So they have different styles. And with that too, I don't know in terms of, if they're going to be rolling out a bunch of different styles, or if they're just going to be stuck with, the ones that they have there, or if you're going to be able to prompt the style. I'm not 100% sure on that. But so far, it's pretty cool. So one of the things that I did find that were kind of weird with it is when you do use some of the items, and like, for example, I have one that I ran where I'm talking about like goals and stuff like that. And it has this book that opens because it's in a different style. It was one of the pen styles. And this book that opens, and they write goal, and that comes out fine. But then it starts doing all this like weird AI looking scribbly stuff that didn't make any sense. So, you have those types of things that they're still working on. But, overall, it's pretty incredible in terms of what's available right now. But you can try it, and just check it out and see if you, find any value in it.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on with AI in terms of they've completely perfected realistic images. Yeah. And I would say video is probably 99.9%. The giveaway for me on video right now is the audio. Because AI has
certain compression sound. I don't know what it is, but
AI hasn't perfected the audio yet. I mean, it's maybe tomorrow. Right. But like as of now, you can hear it, especially if you have headphones.
And that's if you're like frequency peeping though.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's just like a regular, person not paying attention to that stuff, they're going to be fooled by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dee and I were talking over dinner today, and we were talking about how there's a channel that is on, I think it's on Instagram and TikTok, and it is all 100% AI generated. And the whole theme of it is, it's like one of those like entrepreneurial, like girl boss types of channels. And her entire character is fabricated. All of the stuff is fabricated, and people think she's real, even though they disclose in the profile that it's real. People are thinking that it's real. They're complimenting this AI avatar on their looks and talking about how smart it is and like all of this other crazy stuff. But they gained, I think, in 2 months, they've gained 1 month or 2 months, they've gained like 90,000 followers on one of those accounts. So yeah, it's just pretty wild in terms of what is possible.
So believe it or not, we are going to answer your YouTube questions.
We are.
If you have a question, if you haven't already put it in the form, we have a link down in the description below. You can also go to
nicknimmon.com/ask.
I can never remember that for some reason. Probably because it's not my website.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe I should do dnimmon.com/ask.
Yeah.
And then I would remember it every single time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Before we get to that, let me know in the chat how you guys are feeling about AI. So I see Mooney's in here saying, I'm already sick of AI, he says. I have a love-hate relationship with it.
I have a love relationship with it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll run across content, like some of the stuff that you've made is incredible.
Yeah.
Right. And then sometimes I run across content and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, why is this even like getting views on it? Because it's total slop and garbage.
Yeah.
Right. But if people enjoy it, they enjoy it. But in terms of the assistive side of AI, man, absolutely. Absolutely excited about it.
My love side is I love the tools. I love that you can work efficiently. It can help you brainstorm, can help you visualize something before you actually put it together.
Yeah.
I love that. There's some really entertaining stuff out there with AI that just normal people normally wouldn't be able to make that.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. The hate part is the slob.
They're coming for our jobs.
They're coming,
That's the hate part.
slob. I'm going to be out of a job. If you don't know, he's already searching for an AI replacement. In case you don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, man, can I just get an AID?
If you
if I can get an AID, then man, I'm off to the races.
If you go to YouTubeJobsAI.com, he's looking for a host replacement already. No, I don't like the slop out there. Just the low effort, low quality, and the people don't even know that it's garbage.
Yeah.
And I don't like when people are putting stuff out there that are of real people to make it look like somebody did something or said something that they didn't do. I think that's just awful.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed we're going to have laws come into place around the world that's going to handle some of that stuff. But
yeah, so on this, Morale Gaming says, I'm worried AI will take over too much of the content creation scene. So I think that, it's definitely going to have its place, but I do think that, there's going to be some people that will just gravitate to creators. And if you're making good content, it adds value to people, things like that, I think you'll be fine. Because even though it is taking up impressions, right? Because, YouTube has a finite amount of impressions every day. So even though it's taking up that, which I think, kind of sucks, I do think that, people will, like if they find a creator they like, then, they'll watch that creator. That's how it's always worked.
My take on that, we'll wait for a few more questions to come in. You've heard people say for a very long time, oh, be authentically you on YouTube. Be as authentic as you can.
Yeah.
And I think now more than ever, that holds true.
Me too.
And that's what's going to separate all of us from AI.
Yeah.
All the little things, and everyone's insecure about something. They go, I don't like my ears, I don't like my nose, I don't like how I say certain words, or, whatever.
Like you're like, I don't like my younger brother. You know what I mean? You're like, I got to stream with him and I don't like him. Yeah.
Right. Like what it is. Like we all have our hang-ups, but that's what makes us us. Right. So I'll say this now, whatever little quirks and oddities you have about yourself, physically, how you speak, how you explain.
Except that one thing, and you know what it is.
Lean into that, because I think moving forward, all those things that make us the weird humans that we are, that's what separates us from the machines. Yeah. We're part of the resistance. Be part of the resistance. Right?
Oh, love it.
Right?
Yep.
Listen,
100%.
This is John Connor checking in from the future. You are part of the resistance. Lean into your weirdness. Lean into your uniqueness. Lean into all the things that you think you shouldn't lean into. That's how we're going to defeat the machines.
Yep. So really quick, David Matney says, with the amount of AI-generated content, does that make live streaming even more important moving forward? I think, just live streaming, I think that, just adding personality to content, those types of things are important because, like we are going to reach that point, I believe, where, we're going to be indistinguishable. So because of that, I think that there are going to be, certain nuances like Dee was talking about of ourselves that is going to be, kind of challenging to replicate. So because of that, just, being personable, those types of things I think are definitely going going to be helpful moving forward.
So one more thing before we move forward. So we have a friend of ours. He pretty much spent his entire adult life working in Hollywood in the special effects department.
Yeah.
Working on, worked on the Tron movies, Superman, building the costumes, like high level stuff in Hollywood. And there was a period of time where a lot of those guys lost their job because CGI had become so popular, CG, whatever you call it, had become so popular that they got rid of a lot of the actual shops that were making all the hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
But they ended up bringing all those guys back, and those guys are thriving right now, even though with like AI, but they still want that. They realize that it's still missing that human element, that human nuance. There's like a tactile look to costumes.
Sure.
That, while you can attach some stuff with computer, there's something to be said about a real costume or partial sets that are real. So I think, we're going to coexist with AI content. I think we'll be okay. Those of you who are making good content, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're making low effort content, you're not putting a lot of work into it.
But it's always that way.
Yeah.
Right.
That's life.
The low effort content's always at risk.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So TBR creators real quick, and then we're going to jump into the forum here in just a second. If you are just joining us, we're answering questions. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing, there's a form that is down in the description if you're on YouTube, or if you're watching this somewhere else, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will redirect you to that form. You get your question in there. It's 100% free to participate. To put your question in there, let us know what you're having trouble with, what you want to know, what you want feedback on, that kind of stuff, and then we will get it answered here on the stream. But really quick, TBR says, name one thing to improve views. As always, testing topics and editing styles and thumbnails, etc. I make videos on cameras. So a few things. One is to just verify that, whatever cameras it is that you're making videos on are things that, people care about at scale. Number two, look at other people who are making videos like yours and see, okay, is there anything that they're doing that's standing out, to their viewers? Like if I look across 5 different channels that make videos about cameras, is there anything that they make videos about that always seems to hit anytime they make videos about it? And then, consider making either a video like that or a remix of a video like that. In addition to that, making sure that you are just super clear on who it is that you're trying to reach. And that's kind of like a short-term loss, long-term gain type of scenario. And the reason for that one is because, you're making videos about cameras, but it's possible, if you're mixing like beginner cameras with like pro cameras, then in that case, you could be alienating a certain segment of your audience with every video that you publish. Or if you're doing, beginner, intermediate, and then, like high-end cameras, then, like when you're doing the high-end cameras, you might not be speaking at all to the people that are following you because of the beginner cameras. So they aren't going to click on, some of those, pro camera videos. So, so there's that. In addition to that, also, when it comes to, the avatar is if you are, building a channel around cameras, you might talk about all the different cameras, or you could be a specialist in a particular type of camera, and that like, okay, I'm just going to cover Sony as an example, and then by doing that, that could help you be like the Sony person instead of just being a general camera person. So it just kind of helps you be a little bit more of a specialist in that case. So those types of things are definitely helpful. In addition to the other things that you're doing with experimenting with editing styles, your thumbnails, working on your hooks, how you're giving the actual information itself, all of those things are, of course, going to matter. Glenn Bite says, I'm first time watching this on my PC. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, glad you are enjoying it. Andrew Can in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you are doing great.
Hey.
Nice to see you in here. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get into the questions, Dee.
Let's do it.
So at the very beginning, or the very first one, I should say, we've got Morale Gaming. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do Roblox content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, do you think doing horizontal and vertical at the same time can hurt your channel overall? It seems one always does good and the other does pretty terrible. Is it better to just do Kick and YouTube both horizontal, for example, rather than YouTube horizontal and vertical at the same time? So when it comes to that, it is going to be a little bit dependent on what you're offering. So, for example, the vertical streams that I do for this, the vertical, it doesn't seem to do well over there either. And my, thought for that is just the general approach when it comes to shorts. Like in order for my content to matter, to them, one, they got to catch it when I'm talking about something that stands out, to a YouTuber. And then two, they need to be a YouTuber for any of this stuff to matter. So because of that, I'm sure that when it comes to the live streams, it's easy to swipe away. So when you're talking about Roblox, there's a lot of people interested in Roblox. So with that, just making sure that while you're streaming, that, you make it clear that it is about Roblox. So, for example, one of the things that we could do here is like right here, we could put a little graphic that would show up, on vertical streams that just let people know like what this entire stream is about. The title itself carries a little bit of weight, but just for that, initial presentation when it first pops up in somebody's feed, that would be helpful. So, doing those types of things are definitely worth experimenting with, just to make sure that as your target viewer shows up, or as you show up for your target viewer in the vertical feed, that you are, that it's clear to them that your, content is for them. Because, for example, if you show up in the feed and you're on camera, and then they're there for, the Roblox would be the thing that grabbed their attention, then having that little tag on there that mentioned that it was something about Roblox would be, the thing that might help them stick. So, just experimenting with those types of things would be the move there. Let's see here. So next up, we've got, but one thing I do want to say is, when it comes to, long form and for live streaming, going with both, you are going to reach people over there that are not over here. So because of that, you have that advantage. And same exact thing goes is you're going to reach people, in the long form side that are not over on the vertical feed. So because of that, you have that advantage too by putting both out there, being able to reach, where they're at in that moment. And then from there, they can choose, as they run across it, they can choose to, come into whichever version. But that, is a way that, that you can reach people that you might have missed otherwise. But when it comes to streaming out to Kick, I don't mess with Kick, so I'm not sure. I know what it is. I have an account over there, but I'm not sure in terms of the best approach for Kick. That's not a platform that I focus on.
Kick is wild. They've got some crazy streamers over there. I'm amazed at some of the stuff streamers are getting away with.
Like what?
Just controversial things that they're doing on some of these streaming platforms. Some of the more high-profile, controversial streamers, the IRL guys that are doing, yeah.
That are doing the extreme stuff?
Yeah. There's some wild stuff that they're doing.
So really quick, Cody Chambers says, I spent almost 9 years creating content and still not getting anywhere. Is being a content creator even worth it anymore? 100% it is. And I'm going to guess, and I'm just going to take a look here really quick. I'm going to guess if I look at your channel that you are likely, because I think you do like a bunch of outdoor stuff. Hold on, let me pull it up. Yeah.
Home Rapid Repair says, Kick is a platform creators that get banned on other sites. There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Yes, being a content creator is absolutely still worth it. The thing is you have to, when it comes to making content for YouTube, you have to make content for other people. So we pulled your channel up, a few times during this stream, like over time, and you are doing just like a bunch of different things on the channel. Your what it is that you're offering isn't clear. One video to the other video isn't clear what it is that you're offering and why they would work well together. You don't upload, with much consistency at all on the channel. So, when it comes to this, we get out what we put in. And right now you are making videos, but you're not making videos for an audience, and you're not being intentional about what it is that you're publishing to the channel. And because of that, it's likely to continue to be difficult or challenging as long as that's the approach that you take. So if you change it to where you're like, okay, I'm going to serve this type of viewer, and I'm going to give them this type of content, I'm going to make sure that every video that I publish to my channel is going to be a great fit for this type of person, then in that case, you're going to start heading in the right direction in terms of, dialing things into the right direction. But, when it comes to all of this stuff, just like pretty much anything, we get out what we put in. For example, if somebody wants to, get fit, and then they only want to go to the gym, once a month, well, they're probably, not going to, get fit doing that, right?
Well,
so because of that, you have to do the thing if you're, wanting to, to get the result out of it.
Using that analogy, you not only have to go to the gym, but you have to figure out what to do at the gym.
Right. You got to eat right. You got to do all the
eat
stuff.
Right, your diet, right? You have to do all the right things. Just going to the gym isn't enough.
Right.
Even if you go to the gym, 4 times a week and you're very scheduled with that, you still have other things. You have to work out right. You have to rest. You have to eat right. You have to, You have to do all the stuff. So It can be difficult to make videos that people respond to. But I will tell you this, because you've been making videos for 9 years?
Yes.
You've been making videos for 9 years, you're probably pretty comfortable on camera. So if you're not making progress, and I'm not looking at your channel, so I'm not making a judgment on any videos right now, but I'm just saying if you're doing something for 9 years and you're not seeing a response yet, I would pause and I would regroup and say, okay, well, what I've been doing isn't working.
Yep.
So I would go back to the drawing board, because over 9 years, you should know your way around the camera by now. You understand how to edit, you understand the things, but you're putting something together wrong, right? You have the pieces of the puzzle, but you're not putting them together in the right way. So I would go back to the drawing board. I would go back to square one, watching videos. Okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? And it could be something as simple as just reframing the idea. Sometimes it's something really simple that people are missing. Sometimes it takes just a tiny tweak. You could be doing everything right, but you're just choosing the wrong idea, right? Like your thumbnails could be banging, your edit could be there. You might be awesome in front of the camera, but you started with a bad idea, and nothing's going to save a bad idea.
Yeah, and another thing too is, because you started so long ago, like YouTube is a different thing then.
Yeah.
And when you started, the approach that you were taking at that time, it might have been more accepted. But now when it comes to YouTube, it's gotten so competitive. Like AI isn't the problem. It's just that there's so many good content creators on YouTube that in order to, do okay on YouTube or to do well on YouTube, you have to become one of those good content creators. So you have to be able to publish content that is competitive in terms of topically, this is something that, there's enough people that would be interested in this. Then I package it up in a way that makes it clear to the people that I'm trying to reach that it's for them. 3, as a part of that packaging, I also make it informative and or compelling in some way so that they'll actually click on it. And then once they get into the video itself, I'm giving that person, the best experience I can with the content, and I make it all, for them. And then with that, there's tons of detail that goes into every one of those steps. But the idea is that, if you want to do well, in the 2026 YouTube and beyond, then in that case, you have to, work on the skills, and, you have to work on being able to compete in the current YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to add one more thing to this. So if anyone is spinning their wheels, if you're spinning your wheels, you're trying to figure out, why am I not growing? And some niches, this might be more difficult than others, but break it down to this level of simplicity. What problems do people have that I can answer? How can I solve people's problems? How can I inspire people? How can I motivate people? Or how can I entertain someone? And you notice there, how can I do this for them? Right? How can I do something for the viewer? Now, there comes a time where people are going to become interested in you as the creator, and they'll follow you through your journey no matter what you make. But until you build that momentum, until you build that fan base, people don't care about you as a creator, and it's really difficult.
They don't care about your videos.
They don't care about your videos, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about, watch me do this thing because this is my life, because they don't care about your life yet. Right. They don't care about that video yet because they don't know you. They haven't gotten to know you yet. That trust hasn't been built yet. So I would focus everything on, how can I make their life better? Solve the problem, inspire them, motivate them, teach them, whatever it is. How can I do something for them? The more you do that at scale consistently, trying to do those things for a particular type of person, that's where you're going to see momentum. You just have to reframe everything.
Hey, so really quick, I just want to address something. So Modern Day Pilgrim says, not my fave. Opus Clip reached out to me and most likely thousands of other creators, and I declined because it got a warning pop up to not open it. I posted a question about this actually. So something I just want to bring your attention really quick. So back on January 23rd, Opus Clip put out a notice that there are people running phishing scams trying to do it under the Opus Clip brand. So I'm going to drop a link to this so that you can check this out here. Make sure that right now, if you do get those types of outreach emails, that you do not open them, or that you just go through the process. In this document right here, they talk about how you can actually identify the thing right here. So just go through that process to make sure that any outreach that you are getting from them is legitimate. So this is a known issue, and they've already kind of put out the word for that. Hey, so really quick.
One more thing before we move on, because this is an important thing. Because I know a lot of people are stuck.
This
is a common thing. That's why I keep coming back to this. I want to let you know that if you are stuck, if you're in the situation as this creator is, that, and I dare call them miracles because you put in the work, but things change and massive change can happen with a single video. Like sometimes all it takes, and we see it happening right now in Tuber School. You know, we're helping students make changes, and we're seeing the lift happening one after another. Sometimes all it takes is a single video targeting the right audience, packaged in the right way, and it will just completely change the trajectory of your channel. So don't give up.
Yep.
Don't give up. Don't quit. Keep making videos, but you have to keep learning, and you have to understand the packaging and the framing. That's key.
Yep.
You have some super chats that came in.
Yeah, so Kevin K, thank you for the super chat, says, thank you both for all you do. I'd love to know your thoughts on growing via YouTube promotions versus 100% organic growth. So when it comes to the promotions tab, you can use it, but I recommend that you don't. And the reason for that is because if you can't do it organically, then if you pay for it, as soon as you stop spending, you still have to do it organically again, right? So essentially what you do is you end up paying for a bunch of, views on whichever content it is that you're promoting and whatever subscribers are generated from that. But if you still can't get them to respond to what it is that you're doing, then in that case, you just wasted money because the same rules fall into place, which are you publish that next video and you still have to make it about what they care about. They still have to respond to it. You still got to be able to get them to click, enjoy the content, and all the things that you have to do from the organic side. So because of that, when it comes to, using the promotions, I recommend that people don't do it unless you have something direct to sell. And if you're selling something, then in that case, do it on an unlisted video, and even still be cautious. Like even if you're running ads on videos, because there's YouTube promotions and there's Google ads. If you're running ads on videos, I even recommend that you just have a whole other channel for that brand and you run ads on that instead of running them on your main channel, just so that you can make sure that you keep everything, organic on your main channel. And one of the things also that I want to bring up here on your channel specifically, and I'm trying to bring where to take that down. There we go. Is I'm going to pull up your channel here really quick. And, one of the things that right out of the gate that is important, like on your side, is if you look at what's being offered here on your channel. Oops.
What are you doing?
I just hit the wrong button here.
Oops, butterfingers.
Yep. So if you look at what's being offered here on your channel, right now you have like a mobile app looking video here. And then you have EDM mix music over here. And then down here, you have from a year ago, you have, these product, reviews. And then it looks like this might be some other music, possibly, I'm not sure. But basically what you are offering now compared to what you were offering previously, there is, just a bit of a disconnect on what it is that's currently being offered on what you're doing. So because of that, I would just go through the process of getting clear on how you want to move forward on your channel. These are all a year ago. So I would get clear on, how it is that you're wanting to move forward, and then make that content and only make that content. And again, the whole reason for that, oh man, I did it now. And then again, the whole reason for that is just to make sure that when you are, publishing videos to the channel, that everything it is that you're offering is in alignment with, with what it is that, you're trying to do and for a very, specific audience.
So I just opened up YouTube.
Hey, I need you to take my screen down here real quick.
Yeah. You locked in?
Yeah, I hit something while I was hitting something else, and now my screen is like way zoomed in.
You did the double hit? Okay.
Yeah.
So we were joking earlier about, You're the Resistance, John Connor and all that. Mm-hmm. I just opened
you
up
took
my
my screen
browser.
down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just, no, not yet, but I will.
Okay.
No, it's down. And I just opened up my browser right here. You think you're human? Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale. Come on.
That's funny.
Come on. Why would you recommend a Terminator from 5 years ago to me during a live stream after I just talked about me and John Connor? Come on.
Okay, we're looking at Command Option 8.
Cat they fit.
Boom, got it.
Super Cat, thanks so much. Says, Dee forgot to say thanks to you and Andrew Can, I'm guessing, for telling us about Mobile Premiere Pro. It's amazing, especially enhanced speech feature. Glad you like it.
Yep.
I think it's great. I hope they keep it free. I hope it's not going to be something where they come back after they pull in all the users and go, oh, now it's $14.99 a month or whatever ridiculous price they charge for it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's solid app. Glad you like it. Thanks for
And
looking at it.
really quick, somebody, let's see here. So what screen annotating tool is that? So this is something that I've made internally. So yeah, it has that magnification features. It's got annotation stuff on it, all kinds of really cool stuff there with that. But it's something that I have internally. So for that, it's currently not available to the public, but it will be. So it's in beta right now, and I'm just kind of working through little bugs and stuff. But once it's available, I'll definitely let people know about it here in the stream.
Yeah, cool little tool.
Yeah, so you know how I switch mouses?
Yeah.
So basically, my shortcut normally to give my square, to make the square thing pop up.
And it locked it in?
Yeah, it breaks. Yeah,
there
it
you
breaks. Yeah, so I got to be careful on that one.
There you go.
But at least I know how to do it now. Okay.
Back to the question.
Back to the questions. Yep. So next up on the list here, we have Work Less, Earn More is the name of the channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. And the type of channel is YouTube advice. And the goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, my shorts have been making me good income when uploading 5 or more a day, but still want my long forms to take off at one point. Am I now stuck with shorts for good? No. You just have to make long form content that breaks through. So, one of the challenges that people have when it comes to YouTube is, they make shorts and then they see views coming in on shorts. And they're like, okay, so, my short side is working, but my video side isn't working. So therefore YouTube must be broken and it must have identified me as a shorts channel. It's not how it works. So how it works is when you are publishing your long form videos have to be competitive on YouTube, especially, in the space that you're operating in. You're operating with, some people that know what they're doing, some people that don't, but you have to be able to compete with the people that do. And because of that, the content itself has to be, up to par. And what that means is the topics themselves have to be, good and relevant to the audience that you're trying to reach, which I'm looking at them now and it looks like some of them are. And in addition to that, everything has to, be a good experience for them when they actually click into the video content. So you can see all this if you look in your audience retention reports. You'll see how people are responding to your long form videos. And even though you don't have many views on them, actually, yeah, on most of these, you don't have more than 30 views until we get some that were like, quite some time ago. So because of that, I would really just work on the content itself, the topics, and, all of that. Cause you have to, like this one, you're starting out it's kind of, like not focused on the viewers, they're coming in, stuff like that. So yeah, here's what I recommend that you do, especially because you're doing stuff related to YouTubers. Go and watch all the people that make videos in the space. Go and see how everybody's starting their videos right now and start with that. And then from there, just keep kind of rinsing and repeating as you're going through the process. And then by comparing yours side by side, with everybody else that you're going to be competing with, that's going to, help you be able to break through on that.
Hey, Sue, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Charlie Morris, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Brat 6 1881, hiya.
That's a heck of a username right there.
Well, no, this one I'm going to put this one on the screen right here. This is a heck of a username. I was going to say hello to them. Let's see, Anfield.
Gonna have to do it through the image instead.
Anfield Road Layout, Utin the Loft.
Oh.
Utin the Loft.
I'm not sure.
521. Well, hello.
Hey,
and welcome.
Welcome.
With the most. Listen, I'm never going to.
Might be the longest name in the chat. Maybe.
Yeah. Kudos
Looking
for having
good.
the longest name here in the chat.
Yep. We need chat awards.
We need chat awards.
Yeah, where we give like awards for different stuff like that.
Right.
Just random when we notice them. Like, oh, hey, now we get to use it'd be like our own personal bingo card.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Who
Like,
has
right,
the longest name in the chat? Right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Ding,
this one,
here it is.
You win it.
Yep.
You win it.
I don't know.
Congratulations.
Actually, it looks like Kelambaman Quafo might be a good run for their money there.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
a good one too.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we got some good ones here. Actually, Silver Fox Designs, I think they have theirs is actually longer, but theirs is legible though.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the difference. All right, so here we go. So next up on the list, we got Bashy 180SX. Bashy uploads daily content. They do weight loss and fitness videos. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator, and the question is, I post daily long form and transform them into shorts. Is this a bad idea for my channel? No. So it's perfectly fine to convert or to clip your long form content and publish shorts around them. Just make sure that the shorts that you are publishing are, that they're enough in terms of, there's a clear beginning when they come in, and a clear, end to the video, or at least a loop, so that you can, just make sure that people have the context that they need as they're coming into it.
Hey, we have a pretty good one here. Look at this one. Plumbing inspired by James Golden. That's a long one.
That is.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if this is
But
James Golden or if James Golden is somebody else.
I don't know. But it's legible. You see by putting the capitals in there?
Yeah, makes a difference. Yep.
It makes a huge difference.
Moving Company Hustle. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing great. KRB Ministry says, makes sense that viewpoint. Okay, cool.
Is there a maximum character length to YouTube handles?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. We should play with that and see.
I'm going to play with it right now and figure it out.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, you'll have to create a new account. Yeah, or just go into an old account and change it.
I don't need my D Niven handle, so I'll just listen.
Oh, I love it.
If somebody wants to snag the D Niven handle here in about 5 minutes,
great.
you can have it.
Love it.
All right.
Oh, they say James Golden is somebody else. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so next up, we've got Hell Desk Animations. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do animation IT support. The goal is to have fun.
30 characters.
30 characters.
30 characters.
Okay,
There
nice,
you go.
Nice. There we have it. Yep. Doug, of course, knew this one. He's like, yep, 30 characters. He knew already.
There you go.
So the question is, I'm working on a very narrow niche. I make animations for people working in IT and service desks, poking fun at everyday tickets and corporate humor. So far, I've only uploaded 4 videos and a handful of shorts, but my impressions are non-existent. I've got a video that's been up for a week and only has 8 impressions. Presume YouTube hasn't got a clue who to show my content to. What can I do to point it in the right direction? IT service desk workers and corporate drones. So the very first thing is to make sure that you did go through like the verification process, the two-factor authentication, all of those things, because those are super important when it comes to YouTube. Number 2 is, I think your thumbnails are fantastic on your videos in terms of grabbing attention. You have 14 views, 15 views, and 41 views, so you are getting impressions, okay? So you are getting impressions on your long form. I'm looking at your shorts here in just a second. But yeah, on the long form, you are definitely getting impressions. So because of that, and on your shorts, you're also getting impressions as well, because you have 21 views, 1.4 thousand, and 597. So here's what you are up against right now is, one, make sure that everything is verified, two-factor authentication turned on, all those things, and then now you get to fall into the fun situation of a content creator, to where you publish a video, and depending on how people that are being presented that content respond to it is going to determine how that content does. So right here you have, we enabled two-factor authentication and then banned phones. And then you have like Hell has it, or Hell has IT support. And then you have user can't find the any key Hell desk. So I think the approach that you're taking here is okay. But I would definitely spend time. I think your thumbnails, your imagery, I think everything that you're doing there is great. One thing, and I'll just pull it up so everybody can see this because it's clever. Oops. Share screen. There we go. So yeah, so I think what you're doing is clever in terms of what it is that you are offering here. But one thing I would think about also is like, user can't find any key Hell desk, right? So this is something that people might respond to. However, trying to make this just a little bit more clear, and I know this Zoom thing's going to happen to me again.
Yeah, I don't know what your videos are, but I'm interested.
Yeah, it looks like a good time.
Yeah,
yeah,
I can only imagine this is like a fun, sarcastic animation. Pretty much, this is pretty much my experience anytime I have to call a call center,
right,
or the bank, or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so like here, right, like user can't find any key. So here, I think that it's clever what it is that you're doing, but you are missing some clarity here, right? So, user can't find any key. It's not 100% clear what this could be about. On this one, we enabled two-factor authentication, then banned phones. Same exact thing in terms of right now. I would make these all about things that are clearly relatable. And they might be relatable, but it's just not clear in terms of how you're expressing this here in your titles. So I would work on that. The fish fail, IT support in hell. So yeah, I think all of this is fine in terms of, how you're presenting some of this stuff, but I think you need to work on the clarity side. So what I want you to do is, for these next videos that you are going to publish here, or for these too, is write a big list of titles about how you might be able to present this and how it would be relevant to the, the people, the IT workers, I guess, that you're trying to reach with this. And with that, focus on clarity. So here, user can't find any key. It's fine, but it's not clear, right? So because of that, maybe completely spelling it out would be the, would be the move there. Like IT worker trying to help. And again, I don't know if this is how your video is structured, but like IT worker, trying to help a, what would it be, somebody that calls into a customer service place? A customer?
The customer,
maybe?
they call them.
Yeah. So like an IT service, person trying to help a customer. And then from there, I also wouldn't worry about putting like hell has IT support on there, but just keeping your help desk, I think that's fine, because that also adds a little bit of clarity to kind of what's going on.
First, number one, I love that you named the demon Gary. I think that's hilarious.
Oh, really?
He has a little Gary.
Where did you see that? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's Gary.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, that's
just
great.
Gary.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
see it now.
It's
Yeah,
so
that's
normalized.
good.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So
love it.
I don't know how long it takes you to make these, but just an idea here, because you're just getting started with this. I think you're off to, again, didn't watch the video, but just theme-wise, I think you have an interesting idea.
Yeah.
If you can put stuff together quickly, even if it's short,
They've got shorts already. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 5 shorts in here.
I would put stuff together on trending tech things. So like if there's a big data breach or a hack, or somebody's been exposed with something like that has to do with like some technical thing.
Even right now, because the whole Claude bot thing.
Yeah.
Like right now, like people are like, oh yeah, use it. And then it's like, whoa, wait a minute. No. It's like causing all this havoc.
Yeah.
So even things like that, just hopping on, trending
so
things like that in tech.
Right. So you're running on trends.
That might go outside of what they're doing though for the IT help stuff, maybe.
That's
They could squeeze it in there,
if
though.
If it's within the
they
same,
could squeeze it in. Yeah.
I mean, it's in the realm of hell. Come on.
Right.
If it's technical and you could squeeze it into the fiery pits of hell, maybe you could lean into the trending aspect and use those those trending keywords. Because people might find you that way, and then you're poking fun of whatever data breach just happened, and you're the, maybe Gary is on the receiving end on the AT&T calls for people calling who just had all their data leaked because of the. I mean, AT&T, don't sue me for that, but you see where I'm going with that.
Yeah, now Amy makes a good point here. She says, "I feel the punchline is in the title. If you have any background in IT, you've heard about the any key." Yeah, so in that case, you might be trying to resonate with your audience. The only problem there is just like mass appeal, not mass appeal, but like the context that YouTube needs to get it out there in front of those IT people that would understand that.
Yeah, what you've done by doing that is you've just narrowed your potential audience from everyone to IT people. Right? Sometimes we can be, and that's fine.
That's okay though. Yeah,
that's
good because it gives you like a unique position.
Right, that's
there.
fine. That's fine. You might end up having all the IT people just loving your channel. Right. That's fine. So that's a decision.
And with humor, other people can enjoy it too. But it's just about IT experiences. Yeah.
Right. So you have to think about my idea. Does my idea have broad appeal, or am I narrowing that so much that it could be difficult to get growth on that? Now, here's something you could do. You can, and don't spam them. You might have to find a way to naturally work it in. But maybe you could find subreddits on Reddit where IT people are, bitching and moaning about, various things that they have to go through. Maybe because, hey, I made a funny video about this topic. Maybe they would enjoy it, right? So you might be able to bring some of them in that way. I'm going to watch those videos, by the way.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it.
The idea is there.
Super chat.
Yeah, and Amy also she's swinging today. Says, but I feel like I don't need to watch the video because I already know the joke.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
See?
Yeah, interesting. Information there from somebody that is familiar with the joke, also.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the concept.
Yeah,
love it, and it looks great.
Gary.
That's one thing I love about YouTube is like when a creative gets a hold of it, like they can really do some fun stuff. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah. Gary the IT demon. Love it.
So next up, we've got Modern Day Pilgrim. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. And the type of channel says, can camping and rock hunting on the Great Lake. Can camping and rock hunting on the Great Lakes. The goal of the channel is to teach others, and they say, I get a lot of email traffic pertaining to collaborations and sponsorships. I've done several reviews in the past, and I've had no issues. I like doing them. As of late, it seems I'm getting a lot of collaboration invites, but they don't seem legit. How can I be sure if a collab invite is legitimate? I bypass so many because I don't have a piece about it. Yeah, so when it comes to collaboration outreach, where it's like another YouTuber and they're wanting to, collaborate, then, look at the emails that they're coming from, and that's so that you can, see if they're sending it from like their channel, .com, so to speak. So look for those sorts of things. If they do an email outreach to you, then go to their YouTube channel. And I was going to show you, but I can't without exposing somebody's email. But basically, if you go to their YouTube channel, you click on the About Me area, and it pops up that box, on your screen where you can see information about the channel. Underneath the More Info, and here I'll just show you where it's at on your channel. I can show you up to this point. So basically, you land on a channel, click on More, scroll down, you see this More Info. So if you click on this, there's going to be a little thing, asking if you are a, robot or not. And as long as you're not a robot, which, who knows, but as long as you're not a robot, then when you click that, then it's going to expose the email. So then check if that email matches the email that you received. And if it doesn't, then in that case, copy that email, the one that's in YouTube, and then send them an email and say, hey, that email didn't match the one in your channel. As you know, because you're a YouTuber, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, so I just wanted to make sure this was you. And then take it from there. So that will, help you just kind of get past that. If it's brands, then in that case, you want to check LinkedIn, make sure that person is, actually working at that place. You got to be careful, though, because these people are getting good. You want to, see if they have a Twitter handle, look at them there. Google that person, that reached out to you, from that company, and you want to do those types of things. I have a video on my channel talking about how a hacker almost got me, but I was able to figure out that they were not legit. I recommend that you watch that video because it explains the process that I went through in terms of everything looked legit. Their LinkedIn, like everything about them looked legit, and it was completely not legit. so I definitely recommend that you do watch that video. Cricket MC Play says, I'm not a robot, beep bop. See, I knew it. I knew there was one in here. Yep. I knew it. Beep, boop. Okay, so next up, we've got, and by the way, if you are just joining us, we are answering YouTube questions. There's a link at the top of the chat right now. If you have any questions about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, you need feedback on anything like that. We don't watch videos, but we do give feedback on like thumbnails, titles, that kind of stuff. So if you need any of that, or if you have a question, you can put it in the form that's linked at the very top of the chat right now. If you are watching this from somewhere else, like, like LinkedIn or Facebook or anywhere, then you can go to nickniman.com/ask. I'll put it on the screen here for you, and it will redirect you to that same exact form where you can, put your question in there. And you can also use that if you're like hanging out on your sofa and you're watching this on your TV. You can do it from your phone. That way, it makes it a little bit easier for you. So next up, we've got Glenabite. Glenabite uploads 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 1 year. It's gaming content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, what's the best place for sourcing people to pay to do a thumbnail design, YouTube character designs, illustrations, etc.? I've looked on places like Fiverr, but I wasn't sure if this is the best place. So you can find people there, depending on what you need, that can make thumbnails. You can find people there that can do animations, illustrations, all those types of things. If you want people that have like direct YouTube experience, that have worked with other creators or that are currently working with other creators, then you can go to ytjobs.com. I think they also have ytjobs.co also, but ytjobs will also send you there. And with that one, those are people that, that are directly working with YouTube content creators. And the reason that I recommend them over, picking somebody off of Fiverr is because if you pick somebody off of Fiverr, they might be able to make something look good. But when it comes to YouTube, there is looking good. And there's also the other side, which is this effective? Like, are people going to respond to this? And when you work with people that have experience on YouTube, then they're more likely to make one of the thumbnails that are going to be effective for you instead of it only being pretty. So because of that, I would check both and see if you can find somebody that matches up, with you on either side. But I would lean on the YT job side for the sake of just making sure that you are, working with people that have, more YouTube focused experience, and experience working with other content creators directly. But some people, do find thumbnail designers off of Fiverr, if you can train them up, to do things how you want them to do it. Yeah, who on Fiverr? No idea. Yeah, I don't have anybody that I recommend off of Fiverr. And the reason for that, again, is because, I don't use Fiverr for that sort of thing. And, and it's not super clear from the outside of Fiverr who has real experience. I mean, you can look at their portfolio. If you know what to look for, then you can look at their portfolio and see okay, for somebody that might be interested in this type of content, is this clearly, for that type of person, that kind of stuff. So you could do that. But the other platform is YT Jobs, and I'll just put it here. And then you can put a .com after that.
The one thing to keep in mind about hiring designers for thumbnails and for video editors is, and I see this a lot. I see a lot of people on Twitter posting their examples of, here's my thumbnail designs or whatever. They might do well, but I see a lot of designers who make graphically pleasing looking thumbnails, but I would never click on them in a million years. Right. They're not clickable. I mean, some of them are really good.
They look great, but it's not clear what's being offered.
Right. So you need to have an understanding of what a good thumbnail is, right, and what people are using within your niche before you start running around and just paying people to do things for you. Because you could, you might hire a rock star and they just knock it out of the park.
David Matney has a good designer. I don't know where he got him, but his thumbnail, he might make them himself. I don't know. Yeah. But he has, his thumbnails are fire. Yeah.
Good.
His thumbnails look great.
But I've seen situations where people hire editors and they hire designers to make things for them, and they don't realize that they're just not, it might be visually appealing, but editing a video is one thing. Editing to hold retention is something else. Right. Mm-hmm. Making a thumbnail is one thing. Making a thumbnail that gets clicked is something else.
Right.
So it's okay if you have to experiment and try to find different people. It's part of the process.
Part of the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got...
Yeah, like Andrew Can says here, it might be great art, but it might not be a great thumbnail.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between the two.
Yep.
Yeah.
So next up, hey, good afternoon, Froggy. Welcome to the stream. So next up, we've got Softy Stroll Adventures. Softy Stroll uploads when they have time, been on YouTube for less than a year. And the question says, okay, before I ask my question, I want to explain that when I link to SML and the link to the biggest channel in your niche section, that was to the current channel. The videos I want to do on my channel are similar to the ones on the re-uploaded, but that isn't owned by SML. I just wanted to make that clear. My question is, I want to make a series with my characters. I want to explain it in detail, but let's say there's a mix of happy and sad action episodes. And since my channel is quite small right now, I want to ask you this. Can an 8-episode series in general, any series I make, be enough to make a channel like mine grow? I haven't worked on the series yet, but I have the ideas for the episodes laid out. And by the way, it'll be a PG-13 series. So let me just take a quick look at what it is that you are doing. So you're doing like a plushie channel, it looks like. And one of these, I'm just going to scroll back down really quick. When I link the SML and the link to the biggest channel in your niche section, that was to my current channel. And I want to do channels that are similar to the ones on re-uploaded. Okay, I don't know what the re-uploaded is. Okay, so Softy Stroll Adventures here, looking at this one. So yeah, so I think that your type of channel can absolutely do okay, and I think that running series around this can also do okay. If this is your channel, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right one here. But if this is what it is that you're offering, yeah, series and things like that can be okay. However, you still are beholden to the same thing that everybody else is. So that thing is, just because you make it a series doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to perform, right? So because of that, committing to the series and say I'm making all the videos in the series before I publish any of the videos in the series, I wouldn't do that. Instead, I would start publishing a video at a time and then see how people respond to it, and then publish the next one with any information that you gain from the one by seeing how people respond to it. And as a part of that, another thing that's really important to make sure that you're keeping in mind is when it comes to clarity here, here you have SSA, the Google Tube problem, right? So for this, like, there's not much information here in terms of who this is for, why somebody might be interested in this, or anything like that. So because of that, I would work at the core level, which is the idea itself for each one of these videos and for the series. Because again, there are channels on YouTube that do this kind of thing that, do get views on them. But you are going to have to find a way that's going to make this, recognizable to those people. And when it comes to the actual topics themselves. Other things too is, get very familiar with just like YouTube best practices, because here, you have like SSA and then like blind, right? So it doesn't tell the viewer anything. So when it comes to YouTube, you want to think about, okay, if you're going to tell a story, what is that story about? And how can you, take the idea for that story and then present it from the outside in a way that people that would be interested in that story would be interested enough to actually click on that video and then come in and watch what it is that you're doing. So I'm going to guess that, the people watching this is going to be, primarily like kids. And because of that, I would also make sure that when it comes to your thumbnails that, right now, if you look at this, like the color and everything is a bit dull, on these. So I would like brighten up the colors, brighten up the blues in the skies, brighten up the, the characters and all of that. So I would get very familiar with either Photoshop, Canva, Tube Spanner, or even like the Snapseed app in your phone. And I would, make sure that you are, really pumping up the colors, not too much to where it's like shocking, but, pump it up to where, it would compete, in the kids world. But yeah, I think just the ideas themselves are something that you have to work on. And other things too, just like structurally, right? So YouTube best practices is to make sure that you're putting the part that matters to the viewer towards the front, and then any identifiable things like this, like your SSA that you do, that would actually go at the end of the title. But I wouldn't even worry about even putting those on here anyway, because it's not going to matter. So because of that, I would just focus more on like, okay, how can I come up with like really interesting ideas? And then, present those ideas in a way that if you're targeting a younger audience, present them in a way that they would, click on them. Or if you are going after, like an older audience or, somebody that's just not young, then in that case, how can I make these about things that, that adults or older people that are not kids would, would care about. So the rule of thumb in situations like this is to go and look and find like all of the other people that make videos like this and see what it is that they're doing, how they're packaging, and literally compare your stuff side by side with them so you can see like what you have to do to compete. Next up, we've got Dr. Olabinka Adutin. I hope I'm saying that correctly. They do daily content. The goal is, or the type of channel is a make money channel. The goal is to teach others. And the question says, I really want to increase my revenue. It's not growing as I want. Will paid promotion or advertisements be of help? So I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you were in here for this, but I mentioned earlier that when it comes to YouTube, if you're having trouble getting people to respond to the content already, running ads is not going to fix that problem. And the reason that it doesn't fix that problem is because no matter how much money you throw at it in terms of ad revenue, or not ad revenue, but in terms of ad spend, as soon as you stop spending money, you're still going to default back to the organic mode, which is how do I come up with topics that the people I'm trying to reach care about? How do I package them in a way that, is going to make sense for them in terms of capturing their attention and then pulling them into the video or making them want to click on that video and watch it? And then from there, once you get into the content itself, how, are you going to create a great experience for them in the content? So one thing I can tell you here, because you said it's a make money channel, is that when I hover over this and I look at your videos, I would definitely go. So in Google Chrome right now, they released a feature roughly about a month ago. And here we're just going to, we're not going to do it, but basically they released a feature about a month ago to where you can right click on the tab at the very top, and you can have your channel open in one tab, and then you can have another channel open in the other, in just any other tab, and then you can right click on the tab itself and you can choose add tab to new split view. And this is something I recommend that everybody does. And what you do in this case, you know what, I'm just going to do it so you guys can see. So I'm going to take one of your video topics. I'm just going to search for it. Okay, how to make your first 100K. How to make your first 100K. And we are going to go to one of these channels here. Okay. So I'm going to pull these up. And this is dollars, and I know yours is not dollars, but I'm just showing you this as an example of how this works. So what I did is right up here at the top, I right-clicked, and then I chose the new split screen view. Here, I'll just close this so you guys can see this. So up here in the at the very top, I right-click, and then I have Add Tab to New Split View. Right, it's right up here at the top, and then I click on that, and then that puts this over here on this side. You can rearrange them if you right-click up here, but that puts this one on this side, and then I'm going to choose your channel here. Okay, and then I'm going to click into one of your videos. Now, when it comes to this type of content, this is what you are up against. So you are doing this for a different demographic. So this isn't exactly what you're up against. So because of that, you would want to look in the currency that you are serving people in. You would want to look and you would find the channels there that are also making similar content, and you'd want to put them next to each other like this. And you'd want to say, okay, so if somebody comes into my video and you'd want to play theirs, and everybody here should do this with other channels in your niche, by the way, but you would play theirs at the very beginning and you would say, okay, how did they start their video? What's the first 10 seconds like? And then you come over here and you play your video. What's the first 10 seconds like? And then what's the next 10 seconds like? What's the next 10 seconds like? What does their content look like? What does their graphics look like on their videos? And you want to do that so that you can make sure that you're able to offer the similar things that other people in the space that are doing well are offering. Now, I don't mean that everything that you have to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of cameras and things like that, but controlling the lighting, instead of, like room light, just controlling the lighting, or at least positioning yourself by a window so you have natural window light coming in. And then, you're sitting in a way to where it gives you, flattering, just makes your image look more, flattering from a production standpoint, especially when you're talking about money. Like those types of things are really important. But basically, when you are using this split view, just compare everything it is that they're doing, even like thumbnails and stuff, right? Like if you go here and you look at your thumbnails, and again, I know that you're going for a different market because of the currency. Where did I see it? Right here. Yeah, so whatever that currency symbol is, I'm not sure what it is. But like if you look here, these are really simple thumbnails, super high quality images, right? The images themselves are really high quality. They are in like a natural environment. And then here you have these that just have a bunch of stuff all over them. Now, again, I know you're in a different market, and like we're in Asia. So because of that, they have a localized YouTube here, and they do things a little bit differently, and people respond to things a little bit differently over here too. So because of that, look again in your market, look for, how people are doing things that are working. But like in this example, you can see that here, if you were comparing yourself to this channel, that less is more, right? So because of that, when it comes to this sort of thing, you want to make sure that you're doing this type of comparison, so you can just make sure that what you're offering is competitive for what it is that you're trying to do, and what it is that you are offering. Now, if you're in a case like a modern day pilgrim that does everything on her phone, all that's fine, and you're not going to be able to do the split view thing. But for those of you that do have computers where you can do this, this is a really like extremely helpful way to just kind of get an idea from a competitive standpoint of, what you're up against and things that you might need to make adjustments to in order to level things up, right? In order to get that response, and in order to be able to compete in the market that you are trying to compete in. Let's see here. So next up, we have By the way, if you are just joining us, there's a link at the very top of the chat. If you have a question about anything that you're doing on YouTube, you want feedback on anything, or you just have a general question, you can drop it into that form. It's free to do so. So if you have a question about anything, you can go ahead and do that. If you're watching on somewhere that is not YouTube, then you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will redirect you to the form that we are taking the questions from, and you can go ahead and put your question into that same form. That also works well if you're hanging out on the sofa or if you're watching this on a TV. Tube Spanner in the house. What's going on, Danielle? Hope you are doing great. Nice to see you in here. So next up, we've got Geology Dude. What's up, man? Uploads 1 time per week or more. They do science education content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Saw that. I've seen some like drama about that too, like all kinds of weird stuff going on. I think there's some weird stuff going on last year too, around like halftime shows and stuff. It's wild, the stuff they make news out of these days. But anyway, so Super Bowl's tomorrow. Is it best to upload a new video today or wait until Tuesday? I figured everyone will be either talking about the game on Monday or recovering from the parties. So people will still be on YouTube. So there's going to be a segment of people, like a large segment of people that are watching the Super Bowl. It's a gigantic event. So if your audience is, the type of people that are probably going to be watching that event, then in that case, yeah, you might want to wait until, Monday to do it. I wouldn't worry about the hangover crowd, but you might want to wait until Monday to publish that. However, if your, viewers are people like me that, it doesn't matter to me that the Super Bowl is even taking place, or who wins the Super Bowl. You can, take that, for what however you want. But for me, like that, I'm not, I'm just not into that stuff. So because of that, if your demographic is people like me, then in that case, you don't have to worry about Super Bowl having any impact whatsoever. Yeah, amen, Home Raptor Repair. Yeah, he says all kinds of weird stuff going on. Describes like the last 10 years, to be honest. Yeah, probably 20, right? Yeah.
No, 10.
Yeah.
Actually, since
9/11.
Since about 2020.
Yeah, that's when things went off the rails.
I have a theory that something. What was it? The Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
I buy into that.
Do you?
There's a whole conspiracy around like the Hadron Collider when they did that.
It's okay. I have a friend that doesn't believe we landed on the moon. So
there was a split in the space-time continuum or whatever it was, and like we're just going in another direction. Part of me wants to believe that that's true. Part of me.
Yeah, well, they need to turn that thing back on. Is what they need to do. Yeah, get that thing banging again or whatever it does. Get those particles smashing together and get us back on track.
Fire it back up. Yeah. I'm ready for another timeline. What do they call it in Loki? A branch, or the Marvel Universe, the timeline branch?
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for a new branch.
Yeah, new branch. Get us over there.
New branch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I believe we landed on the moon, too. I'm just saying I have a friend that doesn't.
Yeah, they're actually they're getting ready to orbit the moon.
Yeah, it's coming up
this coming week.
Is it this week?
I think it's.
Oh, nice.
I think they're getting ready to go up. Yeah,
nice. Love it.
That'd be interesting.
That's exciting.
It's actually the furthest anyone's ever went. They're actually going further around.
Oh, nice.
And coming back down.
Nice.
Then the next mission they're going to land.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. We all want to branch to another timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Mac Movement says hollow moon theory. Oh, wrong place. Yeah. Yeah. So for fun. I won't say I troll, but like I lurk in the conspiracy subreddits just because it blows my mind, some of the stuff that people come up with. Some of it's like, legit.
Okay.
But like some of it, because we got to be careful about the path we start walking down here because this could really go off the rails. but yeah, it's just interesting though, just some of the things that, that people come up with. And some of it, it's kind of like, maybe they're onto something. But some of it's it's like way out there.
I'm not really much for conspiracies.
Yeah.
But based on everything that's happened in the past couple of, week
Decade.
or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Last week.
My sincerest apologies to conspiracy theorists
theory
because you were right on the nose on some of this stuff.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Right on the nose.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Next up on the list, we got Picturing Hearts. Picturing Hearts. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do Christian mental health content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, some of my videos appear to have a high CTR, yet still YouTube does not promote them. That is, give more impressions. I'm confused as to what criteria YouTube uses when deciding whether or not to give videos more impressions. So when it comes to your CTR is not the only thing that matters. So YouTube is measuring every single thing that happens to your videos. Your CTR, once people click on your videos, everything that happens from that point, they're measuring it all. So because of that, when they are showing your videos to people, and you know, some people are deciding to click on them, some of them are not. And once they do click into it, the experience that they have with your videos is going to determine if YouTube keeps showing it. And in addition to that, there's also things like, you know, the topic of the video, you know, is that going to be valid for, you know, a large number of people, that kind of stuff. So, you know, for example, it looks like you're doing some like healing content and things like that. Like, you know, stop trying to download your healing. I challenged my depression for 21 days, that sort of thing. So I think topically you're okay. So because of that, I would work on a couple of things. So let me go ahead and get this up on screen so we can just address this directly. So the very first thing that I would get clear on is here you say, I challenged my depression for 21 days, right? And then here it says it worked in your thumbnail. Here, we'll do this so the autoplay doesn't do it. So here it says it worked, right? So when you have this here saying that it worked, one thing that I want you to think about is if somebody, here you have, I challenged my depression for 21 days. So this has something to do with depression, right? So since your channel is about mental health, which is one of the things that you mentioned in the forum, then in that case, one thing to think about is how does this thumbnail help people that are trying to, you know, overcome, you know, some type of mental health or depression? You know, how does this help them identify that your content has something to do with mental health, right? So the reason that you want to think this way is because if this shows up in somebody's mobile feed, right, it's the biggest thing about your video. Somebody sitting there scrolling, right, on their phone, this shows up in their feed, there's a good chance that people are just going to go right, the people that you're actually trying to help, right, with depression, that they're just going to go right past it because it's not clear to them that it has anything to do with depression. Now, it worked. I mean, you know, some people are going to be like, oh, I wonder what worked, and they're going to look down at your title from there. But the thing is when it comes to your thumbnails, right now, I would focus your efforts on your thumbnails on helping people that have depression or any aspect of that you're, you know, trying to serve, to help them identify it. So because of that, you know, how I fixed my depression, right? That in this area here is going to help them recognize it easier, so that they don't have to read the title. Because again, your thumbnail and your feed is the thing that's bringing, or that's grabbing the most attention. So that's the moment that you want to catch them.
Beat depression.
Yeah, beat depression. Perfect. Even better, because it's only using 2 words instead of all the words that I said. So yeah, so those types of things are definitely, you know, important. So yeah, do that when it comes to the thumbnails. And then from there, when you get into the actual video content, make sure this is yeah, like your setup and everything, like this looks super comforting. Yeah. It looks welcoming.
Yeah, it's a fantastic looking
chill love set. Your setup. All of this looks great. So the next thing that I would start doing, and you don't have a lot of info right now, so there's not a lot that you can do. But one thing that I would do is I would find, in terms of looking at your video and your data and seeing how people are responding to what you're doing. So one thing that I would experiment with is going and looking at other people who make content like yours and just checking how they start their videos, things like that, and just making sure that you're in alignment there.
What a tasty.
Yeah, it is. It looks welcoming. Like it looks it looks like a place you'd want to go hang out. Like I want to sit down and talk to her.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
seriously,
like I seriously want to sit down and talk to her.
Let's talk about this for a second. Yeah, like this is really important.
Yeah, it is.
And we're just gonna slightly and this isn't a derail. This is creator focused here.
Yeah.
This opening shot, keep in mind, there, you know, YouTube people, the videos hover.
Yeah.
Right. You hover. You go over a thumbnail, it can hover. What people see in that first opening shot, the hover, can sometimes make a difference on whether they click or not. And I just want to say, from a visually appealing perspective, this looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
this looks awesome. Yep. Everything about this is and I haven't heard your voice yet, but everything about this makes
She's got a mic right here.
Yeah, everything about this tells me
DJI
that I want to hear what you're going to say. I would pause and I would at least hear the first few words out of your mouth, just to see, wow, because this looks so warm, so inviting. I'm just gonna give you a 10 out of 10 on this in terms of just welcoming and warmth and just capturing an awesome vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and that little lampshade.
And it matches what you're talking about too, in terms of like, this seems like, okay, like I could go here for help. Yeah, it's super inviting.
Yeah. And just on a personal note, that little lampshade with the little, I love that. Yeah, that's so nice.
So let's talk about your thing with the CTR. First, there's a couple things to remember that when it comes to CTR, when you first publish your videos, it's going to the people that are the most likely to engage with that content. Because of that, CTR is often inflated when you have lower view counts because you've had less people, but the right people interacting with your content. So because of that, it gets inflated. Now, from there, you all right, Dee? Dee's like cracking up over here about something. So the next thing, you all right? Okay. All right.
I bit my tongue.
Oh, okay, sorry. So so basically when you start getting more, are you sure? Oh no, he's cracking up over something. So the, like when you first publish your video, then those people are the ones that are most likely to enjoy it. And because of that, when you don't have a lot of views, it's really easy to have a seemingly high click-through rate on your video. I mean, it is high, right? In terms of the amount of people that clicked on it compared to how many people were shown. The real challenge comes when they start showing the content to more and more people. It becomes more and more challenging to maintain those higher click-through rates, okay? So one thing that I want you to start doing is instead of looking at your click-through rate in general for the video, and even still, like you're not getting a lot of information right now, so you're not gonna be able to do a lot with this. But right now, instead of looking at your general click-through rate, go and look at your click-through rate in the different traffic sources of YouTube. So the way that you find this, if you're on a computer, is you go into your YouTube analytics. Once you're in your YouTube analytics, did you drop something? Once you're in your YouTube analytics, then you go up into for each video, click into your content tab, click into your content tab, click into one of your videos in your content tab. Once you're in that, click in analytics. Once you're in analytics, up in the top right-hand side of your screen, you're gonna see advanced mode. When you see advanced mode, click on that button, and then there's gonna be a column over on the left-hand side that has a bunch of stuff in it. You wanna look for a drop-down that says content. If you click on that drop down and you change it to traffic sources, then it's going to show you the click-through rate that you have on the different pages of YouTube. And that's also going to give you just a little bit more accurate insight on what your click-through rate actually looks like. Because the view that you see in the quick view there in your analytics, that particular view is averaged out across the different traffic sources. So when you go into your main traffic sources report, it will show you like how your videos are performing on home pages. It'll show you how your videos are performing in search. It'll show you how your videos are performing in suggested videos. And that can start to get insightful because like in your case, if you find that, okay, I have this high click-through rate, but some of it's coming from my channel page, then in that case, that means like another video, people are, exploring your channel page and then they're able to find it that way, right? And that's what's inflating your click-through rate. So it just helps you, get more tuned in there in terms of, how people are actually responding. But a few things that I do want to mention though, is when it comes to your topics, I challenge my depression for 21 days. I think this is fine also, but I think it would be better if you make this about the viewer that you're trying to reach, right? Because here, I challenge my depression for 21 days is a different thing. And this part starts at the video idea, okay? So you always want to think, when it comes to making your video, you want to think first, okay, how am I going to package this idea? So instead of I challenge my depression for 21 days, I challenge my depression for 21 days and this is how I beat it. Or I challenge my depression for 21 days and this is how you can beat it, right? So then by doing the you part, then you make it more about the viewer instead of it just being about you and your experience. You're kind of wrapping the two together, right? Here, stop trying to download your healing. This one's good because you're healing. So this one's clearly about the viewer. I don't think the thumbnail for this one's good, but I do think that the title's okay. But another thing with this is you have, stop trying to download your healing. And this is another one to where you're leaning on like clever instead of clarity. So this is from the image. I think that you're making a reference to your phone here because you have yourself looking at the phone and then you have the no symbol there. So right here, instead of, stop trying to download your healing, which is clever, make it, stop using your phone for your healing, right? Or stop seeking healing on your phone or something along those lines, but basically just spelling it out, right? Instead of trying to be clever. And then by doing that, clarity just helps people to be able to understand it a little bit easier. When it comes to YouTube, you're in front of all kinds of different people. Yeah. So because of that, the easier that you can make everything for people to understand, the better off you're going to be in terms of, people being able to respond to your videos. AJ's Green, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Yeah, other things too, and then we're going to move on. But just one more thing that I want to bring attention to is like here you have 66 and running out of time, the harsh reality. So with this, this one also seems like it's more about you instead of the viewer. And then also another thing that's important to think about is like with a video like this, and I thought my best days were over. So both of these seem like you're targeting an older demographic, like you're targeting an older crowd. So if that's the case and you are targeting an older crowd, then I would also make sure that you're doing that for all of your videos if you are trying to target an older crowd. And then you can be a resource for older people that are struggling with depression instead of being a generalist where you are, just making general, depression and mental health videos. You could be specifically helping like an older generation that's dealing with that stuff work through it. And then by doing that, you make it to where every video is relevant to, that type of viewer. So dialing it in on who it is you're serving, working on your thumbnails and working on your clarity is definitely the things I would work on, right now for your channel. Now, if I were to watch the video itself, the information, about that could also be there, but we just don't do that on stream, unfortunately. Love how you're presenting things though.
Yeah.
I think you're presenting things in terms of like your camera, like once you get into the video, not sure what you're saying, but once you get into the video, like how you're presenting what it is that you're doing, it all looks fantastic and really comforting and welcoming.
Yeah.
Can't go in the kitchen says unrelated to YouTube. What are you gonna say, Dee?
I was going to say that's usually one of the parts where you're looking at newer channels.
Yeah. What were you laughing about?
No, I bit my tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No,
I saw you go like this. And then you got up and walked
no,
away.
I was eating this fruit shoe and I bit the living heck out of my tongue. I was over here.
Got it.
I was holding in yelps.
Oh, all right.
I was.
You're about to be like yip yip yip. Running across the room.
I was trying not to make noise, and I got up and I spit. I spit blood in the sink. Yeah, I was eating a chia chew and bit my tongue off.
Shout out
I
to
was
Chia
just gonna
Chew.
say, like, it's rare to see a new channel look so good when you click in on a video.
Yeah.
That first establishing shot,
it's impressive.
That looks really good. So you don't want the yelps.
Not a new channel. They have 54 videos. Yeah, still new.
Relatively new. Yeah. In the grand scheme of YouTube. Yeah.
So Tango in the Kitchen says, unrelated to YouTube, but what if we're having a collective dream and one day we are going to wake up and we'll still be in 2020? That'd be interesting. Definitely be interesting, but I don't know if I'd want to go through that again. I mean, I would, taking the option, because then I've got the extra 6 years to play with. Yeah,
I'd go through.
Yeah, there's definitely some some changes. I go all in on Bitcoin, that's for sure. Right, all in on Bitcoin, all in on Nvidia. Right, so I'd be splitting up between like Bitcoin and Nvidia. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I always see
Palantir being there.
Yeah,
like all of them. Yeah, all in.
I've talked about this before. We were talking about this over coffee earlier. I'm really big on short form nostalgia content where people are talking about things that happened in the 70s and the 80s. They talk about how it was being raised during those time periods. And, some people talk about the different toys that we had and the sounds of those periods and the experiences that we had as children growing up in that time period. And one of the things that keeps a recurring theme is somebody will have, it's always some really warm voice. And it's usually done over some AI generated, but it looks good. Like AI generated, some kids driving like BMX bicycles through the neighborhood, and all the stuff that we grew up with, like in the Midwest and all this stuff. And they're always leading those questions about like, if you had the choice to go to sleep and wake up in 1982 again, would you do it? And those, I love questions like that because you're like, man. But my point being, I go straight to the comments. That's always my thing. I'm like, straight to the comments. Forget what I think. I'm going straight to the comments. Man, the amount of comments were just like, I wouldn't like right now. Like, give me the button. Wow. I'm going back right now. I find it interesting how many people want to go back and relive different periods.
I think that's probably normal. Like as you age and stuff, it's like, man. Like what it would be like to be able to like fall off the top of like the roof of a single-story house and like just get up and like walk away, like it was nothing.
Unbreakable
kids,
yeah,
that was great. Yeah, I literally used to jump off the roof of our, the roof of our house and like other houses. Yeah, and it was like
just
nothing.
Like roll.
Yeah,
just like get
yeah, it's laying on the ground, get up. Yeah, now you'd be in the hospital for 2 weeks.
I twist stuff getting out of bed.
Right? Stretching on the sofa. I'm like, oh, God, there it is. Not walking for a couple days.
I get out of bed and stand up weird, and I think I might have to call the ambulance.
Right.
Baby, we might have to call the ambulance.
Yeah, Amy says only if I could go back with all the knowledge that I have now. Yeah, I think that would be
there's the trade-off.
kicker. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, my whole point.
And that would make it not the same.
My whole right.
Yeah.
Right. You'd be like, well, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know. Like that's so boring.
It's
like,
right.
Yeah. Where's YouTube at? Yeah.
Right. It
well,
would be
2020
like,
would be there.
It's like going back to watch like Escape from New York. Right. It's a great movie at the time, and you go back and watch
now
it
you're
now.
like, oh my god.
And you're just like, that's really cheesy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
But
Okay.
yeah, nostalgia. But yeah, the comments are full. Just hundreds, if sometimes not thousands of comments, and they're just like, yep, take me back, take me back, take me back. And I'm just like, wow.
So next up, we've got Picturing Hearts. Oh, we did that one already. So next on the list here, we've got Joyful Trails. Joyful Trails, they upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. They do bike trail reviews. That's cool. Goal is to have fun. They're looking to increase revenue, and they just hit 10,000 subs last night. High five and fist bump to you. Absolutely love it. And the question is, thanks for your content. Helped a lot. Question, which is better, YouTube memberships or Patreon? So both have advantages. So Patreon has the advantage of you not putting all of your eggs in one basket. So for example, if something happens, you get demonetized because you break a rule you didn't know was there or something like that, then in that case, you still have Patreon. Downside is people have to leave YouTube in order to go to Patreon. Yeah. And if they're not familiar with Patreon, as creators, we're all familiar with it, but the general public, some people are, some people aren't. So if they're not familiar with Patreon, then in that case, they might not have that trust over there and they might not sign up just because they don't even know what it is. Whereas on YouTube, it's all built in. So because of that, when it comes to payments, things like that, everything just all gets, wrapped up together, which is great. In addition to that, it's pretty frictionless when it comes to, people already trust YouTube. A lot of people already have premium accounts. Their credit cards are already in there. And from there, they just have to, hit, a couple buttons and then they're in. So because of that, the ease of signing up on YouTube is there. Compared to, a little bit of friction going over to Patreon. But again, if you do memberships, it's easy, but all of your eggs are in YouTube's basket. Patreon, all of your eggs are not in YouTube's basket, but it is a little bit, there's a little bit more friction there when it comes to, getting people over there. Roger Wakefield in the house. What is going on, my man? Hope that you are on fantastic. Nice to see you in here. Roger says 10,000 is where I started looking for my first sponsors. Love it, love it, love it. You got the Wakefield ready, Dee?
The Wakefield is
got
ready.
the Wakefield cup right there.
That's right.
Roger, hope you're doing great, man. So next up on our list here, we have TBG Animation. TBG Animation uploads when they have time. They have an animation channel. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, how to get my videos to reach more people besides my niche? So if you want to reach people outside of your niche, make videos on trending topics, and those could be general trending topics. Even with that, though, the downside is, I see what you're doing. No, that's not what you want to do. So it looks like what you're doing is it looks like you are taking things that are already popular, like Avengers Doomsday, and you are doing like animated trailers and things like that. So because of that, you are going to continue to reach people that are in your niche unless you do something like, I don't know if you're recreating this stuff with AI or how it is that you're doing any of this, but if you were, doing something where you had them in different environments that might relate to other people, like, the Avengers, in an office space, or if the Avengers were office characters or the office actors or, something like that, then in that case, you could start kind of bridging out that way. But I think with what it is that you're doing, you can experiment with that if you're trying to get out of your niche. But because of what you're offering, you're pretty niche down here for, the crowd that's interested in this type of stuff that you're doing. Carol Lister, Mom and Chef, welcome to the Niminati. Make sure when you get the chance.
Did you get it?
No, I haven't hit the button yet. Looking for it. You got it. Yeah, make sure
welcome
when you get the chance.
To the Niminati.
that you go to nimandvip.com. It's going to redirect you to the Facebook group if that's something that you're interested in. We also have a Discord as a part of that as well. With both of those, if you have questions about anything, anything like that, those are both great places to ask those things. Yeah, Doug posted it in the chat there too.
You had the KMH family join as a member earlier as well.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yep.
They were already, so
they came back.
Yep. So welcome back. Yep.
Circled back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There we go.
Welcome back.
So next up on the list here, we have.
Who's next? Hey, Beanie, how you doing? Who's up next?
Going there right now.
You pulling somebody up?
Yep. So next up we have Modern Day Pilgrim. Modern Day Pilgrim uploads when they have time. It's a van camping and rock hunting on the shores of the Great Lakes. Didn't we already do one? It says money I make from my videos comes from my van setups, not from my camping adventures or product reviews. I've turned down a lot of product reviews because I think it's a waste of time because they don't generate a ton of views. I'm wondering if product reviews are a waste of time altogether. If you look at my channel, you can see that views from product reviews are much less. Is it something that I should stay away from altogether? Thanks. So let's see here. The goal of your channel, the main goal of your channel is to make money.
That's a good question.
So in the form, you have here that the goal of the channel is to make money. So if the goal of the channel is to make money, looking at views is definitely something to consider. However, looking at the income that you generate for the channel as a whole is the thing that should be the primary thing that you're tracking. So of course, get more views, then you can get more, money from ads and, things like that. But even though the product videos get less views on them, if you are making money from those product reviews, the amount of money that you're making from those views might offset what you make from ads. So because of that, as long as you are making videos about a product that might be a good fit for your viewers, right, van life folks, then in that case, if your goal of the channel is to make money, then I would do those and I would just expect them. Still try to make them, good videos so that you can hopefully break out of them, being the lower viewed video. But you would look at your regular staple content as like, okay, this is the stuff that I can depend on. This always does well on my channel. And then you have the product reviews where you're like, okay, these do a little bit, worse. But these fill another need, which is generating additional revenue. And then I would also pin it against, right? So, for what you're going to do for an ad deal, does that make you more in AdSense or a comparable amount in AdSense compared to, a video that has, 3,000 views on it, right? And if the answer to that is, yes, then, you might want to do those deals as long as they're good products and they're a good fit for your viewers. So when it comes to reviews, if they're doing it where, hey, Tom Nash in the house, what's up, dude? Hope you are doing
Tom.
great. So when it comes to the deals that you're doing, if they're reaching out to you and they want you to promote something as an affiliate, that's different, right? Because then, it's all commission based. But if they're like, hey, we're trying to spread awareness about this thing and we could use your help, then that is where you say, okay, I can help. It's going to cost you, this much. And then you make that video for them. So because of that, if the goal is to make money, then I would definitely make sure that you are taking some of those actions that can help you make additional money from the YouTube channel. Next up, we got Pray with Maat. I thought it said meat there for a second.
Pray with meat.
Yep. So Pray with Maat does daily content.
There's a butcher in Michoke.
No.
Near us by Starbucks over there.
No.
It's they have a picture of Lionel Richie. Remember Lionel Richie? Mm-hmm. And the name of the store is just like, says nice to meet you.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's spelled like meat, and it's got a picture of Lionel Richie in their logo. It's the.
Oh, I know exactly. I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's the weird.
It's across from Tops.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, that's the weirdest.
Yeah.
Like, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
With Lionel Richie. Mm-hmm. Like that's like the weirdest.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so really quick, and this is something I actually meant to mention this before the stream. I've noticed this on a lot of my streams lately. that the audio sync is getting weird. Yeah, so here coming up within the next few streams, let's experiment with Meld and see if it gets the same thing, so we can just identify it's like a YouTube thing or a StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
So so back to the channel here. Pray with Maat. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do prayer, Bible, audio, and meditation music. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator, and the question is, at first glance, what advice would you give to help grow the channel based on thumbnails and titles? We post daily and have been consistent. Let's take a look at what you are doing. It'd be fun if we got there and it's like them like praying with me.
That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, that's right, Monique. I was actually wrong. It's not nice to meet you. It's, is it meat you're looking for? That's what it is with Lionel Richie. Thank you for typing that. Yeah. Is it meat you're looking for? From that song. Hello, that's Lionel Richie. Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. Instead of, is it me you're looking for?
Yeah, but the thing on the window, though, is nice to meet you, though.
No, it's that. Is it meat you're looking for?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
got
it. Thank you. I knew it was something like that.
It's a beautiful song, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, not the meat version.
The meat part.
I mean, that might be beautiful, too. I don't know.
Jeffrey Dahmer liked that version. Yeah.
So, okay, so let's see what it is that they have going on here. Okay, so a couple of things.
Are you pulling them up?
The very first.
I don't see them.
Yeah, I'm going to. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the very first here is we have a prayer to calm anxiety. This is going to be one type of viewer. We have Find Rest in His Presence, meditation and nature sounds, and a 2-hour-long video. This is going to be a different type of viewer. We have Matthew chapter 20. Jesus teaches about grace and predicts his death, audio Bible. So here you're going through like a verse. This one, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So this one is also going to be for a different type of viewer. These two might go together, right here. And then over here, and Mother's Healing Power, Restoration, Peace, and Divine Healing. What is this one? Another 4 minutes. So yeah, so the very first thing that I would do on your channel is I would figure out what it is that you're offering. So are you going to do more of the prayer stuff? Are you going to do more of the Bible reading stuff? Or are you going to do more of the meditation stuff? Because what you're doing right now is you are segmenting your audience, and you're making it to where it's difficult for people to watch videos back to back. You're going to have some crossover, but in terms of what you're offering, there's a little bit of a conflict here. So you have this where you're working people through each chapter of the Bible, which is great, gives them a reason to come back so they can, come the next day, hear the next chapter, all that stuff. So all that's great. But then you have this that you throw into the middle, which is a, student protection prayer. And then you have this, the Mother's Healing, prayer. So you have these different prayers that you're doing. So just what it is that you're offering is a bit messy. Meaning that, that your channel itself doesn't have clarity in terms of what it is that you're doing. So the very first thing that I would do on your channel is I would get clear on what it is that you're actually trying to offer. Because you have here Change Through Prayer and Bible Audio. So as a part of this, if you wanted to combine the prayer and Bible audio, consider maybe doing them in one video. So basically you have the, book of Matthew that you do here, and then maybe at the end of this, you have like a prayer of some kind that would be related to that in some way or something like that. I think that there is a little bit of crossover with the prayer stuff and then the people listening to the Bible, because like the video links are similar, things like that. But things start going off the rails a little bit when you start doing things like this, which is basically, like a 2-hour-long meditation where they just listen to nature sounds in the background, right? So because of that, I would just dial that side in. But I think in terms of being able to identify, like, hey, Book of Matthew, pretty clear. So, if you are, a religious person, that's probably going to be pretty, clear to you what it is that you are, offering there. And then here, one thing that I just want to point out to you in terms of a difference. Okay, you are on camera. Yeah, is that here with Fernando, it looks like here, and this was the comparison channel that you have, and here we'll just do it this way, is if you look at how he's presenting his thumbnails and you look at how you're presenting your thumbnails, he's a personality channel, and he leans into that in terms of, him being the star of this show, and he, puts himself all over the place in terms of, people being able to connect there. His thumbnails, I think, are a bit, much, but they, work, for him a bit here. And it looks like all of his stuff is prayers. Prayer, 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 prayer.
Yeah, going to have you there with prayers.
Yep. So he's a little bit more, focused in on what it is that he's offering. So yeah, so I would definitely use that as a, just kind of learning thing, just looking at him being like, okay, so he's offering, mostly these prayers. So let me offer mostly something, right? Or just let me offer something. And the reason those types of things are important is because when it comes to YouTube is, measuring how often people come back to your channel. They're measuring how often a certain type of viewer is responding to your type of content when it's being presented to them. It's monitoring when people watch a video, do they watch anything else on your channel, those types of things. So because of that, you want to make sure that you are being very clear in your offering and that you are, targeting, a very specific person that's interested in, very specific things so that it's just easy for them to consume a lot of your content. Next up.
People are saying they're hungry now in the chat.
Because the meat?
I guess so.
So next up, we have Life with Ricky. Life with Ricky uploads 1 time per week or more. And they they've been making videos for 1 year or more. They do comedy skit content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And they say that the question is, if you change your preference on a past short to made for kids, does YouTube republish the same short to that new younger audience? I don't know what they do. I wish I had the answer for that one, but I don't know. That's a pretty nuanced situation. So, so if you publish a video and then you later go back and change it to kids,
does it change?
Do they recommend it differently? Yeah, I have no idea. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I wish I had an answer for that one. So for that one, I would hop on to x.com and I would tweet to Team YouTube on that one and see if they can give you an answer on that, because they would be more in the know on that one than I would.
That's very specific. You would think that they would.
Yeah. You can also,
otherwise people would game the system.
Yeah.
Right. You would think that they would have to change at that point.
Let's see here. I'm pulling up another one for you here. YouTube Insider. Yeah. So this one too. I'm going to drop it in the chat. So yeah, you might want to tweet at him also. So if Team YouTube doesn't respond, then check out Renee. He's YouTube's creator liaison. He's really responsive to that sort of thing. Check him out and see if
you're not showing anything.
No, I dropped the link.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, that link, I just dropped it in there for you, and he might be able to answer that question for you. Pretty nuanced though, so I'm not sure.
So Andrew Can says that StreamYard has been having some issues.
Oh, with sync?
Just in general, yeah, I'm putting it on the screen. It says, I noticed some weirdness using StreamYard and YouTube, longer render times, audio off sync, etc. Only happens with StreamYard, not Meld, OBS, or Riverside.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess some of these new updates that they've put out there might be
doing it.
Yep, could be.
So just as a reminder, if you do have any questions about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, we are currently answering questions about YouTube. So if you're a content creator, you want feedback on your thumbnails or titles, or you have a question about anything it is that you're doing, there's a form at the very top of the chat right now where you can put that question. Or if you are watching this from somewhere that is not YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will redirect you to that same exact form where we can get your question answered on the stream today. So the next one, we have Life with Ricky. Oh, no, we just did Life with Ricky, didn't we? Hold on. Yeah, comedy skits. We did. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. So next up, we have C99Bo. They upload every other day. Been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do gaming, primarily Roblox content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. We've had a lot of Roblox creators lately. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they're on a roll there.
Yeah. But the goal is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, what do I need to improve on my thumbnails and editing? So we can't look at your editing here during stream. I mean, we could, but we don't look at edits because copyright reasons and stuff like that. So we got to, we play it safe a little bit because I'm paranoid. But let's look at your thumbnails and see what you're doing. Okay. So let's see here. I opened the new VIP Lucky Blocks with fans, my 2 craziest trade vouch, best PvP of last month. Okay, so a couple things. One, I think imagery-wise, I think you're doing okay for some of this. For some of it, I think not so much. So the very first thing I'm going to say is you uploaded 7 months ago, then 2 months ago, then a month ago, and then now 5 days ago. So I would definitely get more consistent with your upload schedule. And here you have like 1 year, and then 9 months, and then 7 months, and then 7 months. So yeah, like I would make a commitment, right? If you want to do the thing,
Are they doing shorts at all?
Then make a commitment. I'm getting there in a second. Then make a commitment and do the thing, right? So if you're wanting to perform well on this side, then make sure that you're publishing content on that side. When it comes to shorts, 2.7, and then we have 2.3, 127, 120. Yeah, so you're a little bit scattered here as well when it comes to publishing shorts. So step number 1 is I would work on consistency. Some of your shorts, though, are getting some impressions on them. So that's good on the short side. So you are definitely, I mean, we all know that people are interested in Roblox. So because of that, that's a win. I would definitely lean into shorts, and I would make sure in your shorts that you are linking to relevant long form content in your related video. How fast trends are moving nowadays. Okay, you're linking to other shorts. That's fine. But when it comes to your long form, yeah, so just make sure that the imagery that you're using. So like here, this one's 7 months ago, but I'm going to use it as an example. So at this current size, if we zoom in, super easy to see. I mean, it's still a little bit challenging to see everything that's going on, but it's hard to see what's happening. The text, like the red text on this particular background, is hard to read. If we scale this down to smaller sizes like it displays in other places on YouTube, even around here, it starts getting really difficult to read the text. It starts getting really difficult to even see what's happening in the thumbnail itself. So because of that, when it comes to this, I would make sure that you are using very obvious and clear imagery. I think this one's a little bit better in terms of the imagery, but I would use, like, learn how to make thumbnails, find Roblox characters that are relevant to the videos that you're making, and make those characters the highlight. Make them big and easy to identify, and then build the rest of the thumbnail around those characters. By doing that, it's going to make it easy for people interested in Roblox to instantly, at a glance, without having to think about it. It's going to help them know that your content has something to do with something that they care about. In addition to that, when it comes to your titles, like best PvP of last month, try to come up with video ideas. Like, your ideas are arguably the most important thing when it comes to YouTube. And the reason for that is because, when you have the actual video idea itself, if it's something that a lot of people would be interested in, or when people see it, as long as it's packaged right, when they see it on their homepage or suggested videos, they're like, oh, I need to check this out. Those good ideas are extremely valuable. So because of that, I would spend, time on the ideas, and I would make sure that you are packaging them in a way that make them compelling in some way for the viewers. So the way that you do that is start thinking about, okay, if somebody's interested in Roblox, and think about this before you even record the content. So be like, okay, if somebody's interested in Roblox, what types of things would they care about? Well, first, let me go to a Roblox channel that's doing well and see the way that they're doing things, see the videos that they're making, how they're writing their titles, how they're making their thumbnails, all that. But from the title perspective and the thumbnail perspective, how are they presenting these things? And then once you figure out how you're going to present it, then you go and you make the content itself. So by making it more compelling, all you're doing is you're saying, how can I change this from something that might be giving a little bit of information to where a Roblox fan is going to be like, oh, this seems interesting, let me check it out. A lot of ways that gamers do that is they will do challenges, things, like that, or they'll do just crazy stuff to where, somebody sees a thumbnail, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that in the game. And then they'll go, click on it to see that thing or see the progress of that thing or process. So I would just work on those types of things. But you've only got a handful of videos here. You've got more shorts, but in terms of the long form content, like, you're just in that process right now. So you got 10 videos on the channel, like long form. So because of that, you have to go through the process that everybody has to go through of learning how to come up with good video ideas, package those ideas in a way that's going to be, interesting and compelling for the viewers you're trying to reach. And then, of course, when it comes to people watching the content itself, making sure that, they're having a great experience with that content as well. What's up, Colin? Hope you're doing great, man. Nice to see you in here.
Hey, Colin. Yeah, a lot of Roblox players lately. Next up, we've got Crafty Coven. Crafty Coven.
They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do crafting, mainly resin. Oh, that's cool. I think the resin stuff's awesome.
Resin.
I know that there's some AI content of people doing some really cool stuff with that. Have you seen that?
Out of resin?
Yeah.
Where they're like doing floors and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting like LEDs in them and all that stuff. So people really do that apparently. But when it comes to the AI stuff, they're just taking it up a notch in terms of what it is that they're offering. But supposedly it's like really expensive to do your floors that way.
Is it?
Yeah, supposedly.
Just
I mean, I don't
to
know,
have the
but-
resin floors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, I'm so lost on thumbnails. I've started a new style. Can I have some criticism and direction on them? Absolutely. So you link to Facebook. Hold on. So your channel's Crafty Coven, and then you link to Facebook. So here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take Crafty Coven, and I'm just going to put that into YouTube and see what comes up that way.
Did you find anything?
I don't see... Oh, rock salt, and resin. Okay, yep, gotcha.
you go.
Okay, so here we go.
Today's your lucky day.
Okay, so the very first thing I want to bring to your attention is that you are focusing on a cartoon instead of focusing on the thing that the viewers you're trying to reach will care about.
Yep.
So what you want to make sure that you're focusing on is if somebody's interested in resin, then what type of photo can I take that I can use for the thumbnail that's going to be big and easy for them to identify that is going to be focused on the actual project itself. So right now, because you are using this character here, I understand that you're trying to, add some type of like branding to your thumbnails, but I wouldn't do that. Instead, I would focus this 100% on the actual project itself. It could be the finished project that you are essentially showing people how to make, which is what it looks like you're doing here. So as a part of this, it looks like you took the photo here. So do that, but make that, like if we zoom in here. Oh, that's interesting. So if we do that. Interesting.
Maybe
All right, well, we can't pull it up there.
low res, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, so with this, basically the whole idea that we're trying to get at is you want to focus on the actual product itself. So I'm going to go to the end here and see if we can see it. Yeah. Like this, but you would want to make sure the white balance is correct and all that stuff because the color's a little bit off on this. You would also want to make sure that it's a clear picture, so maybe take a photo with your phone once it's finished that you would specifically use for your thumbnail. But whatever it is, because I'm not sure if this itself is the actual thing or if this is, but whatever the thing is, take a really good photo of that. And when I say a really good photo, what I mean is just try to make it look interesting from the outside. So, for example,
What are other people doing?
yeah, that's what I'm going right now. So this would be, what is this one? Rock, salt, and resin. Let's just see what happens there. Rock, salt, and resin. Let's see here. So we have here, okay, that's a playlist, so we'll keep on going down. So even here, they're focusing more on the actual products themselves, but it's more of a comparison between those two. So let's keep going. Yeah, something like this, right? I mean, this is a pretty high quality pick, and they put a lot into taking this photo. But you get the idea here in terms of how they're focusing the viewers on that product itself. They did salt, added salt and crystals to resin. Guess what happens? Yeah, so here also, this isn't exactly what we're talking about, but this is pretty close in terms of, you can see the focus is on the imagery and the thing that the viewer is going to try to build, not on characters, not on a bunch of empty space, not on the smoky background, anything like that. It's focused on the thing that the viewers care about the most, right? And if we keep going here, same thing here, right? This one doesn't have a great photo, but it's still, what happens when you put rocks in resin, but it's still, a focus on the product. This thumbnail could be way better.
Scroll up for a second. I want to, or that's fine right there. Nope. Scroll down, scroll right there. So
which one am I looking at? This is amazing. Rock salt.
Yeah, this is amazing. That's fine. Something that you can do, and this applies to anyone doing crafting or whatever, you can go to the craft store and you can get, poster board, all kinds of different colors. And you can theme out your images for the videos, the top-down shots. You can theme out the pictures and use contrasting colors. So if you have like a you know, just to say you have a pink dish or something like that, put it on like a baby blue giant card stock. So when you're taking that shot, you have nice, vivid, bright, contrasting colors. And what's going to happen is when you use that in your thumbnails, when people are scrolling through, those bright colors, the contrast is going to be more eye-catching. You think about color. Oh, those are good. Those little ones.
Yeah, like look at this, right? I mean, these are super high quality pics. So
Yep.
this is the goal, but it's not necessarily, you know, the next step. But you can see here how it's just a big focus on the products themselves. And this one has 10 million views from 2 years ago. So here, epoxy's killing me, not so much. But here, this is another one to where it's a focus on the actual product. And this one's 5 years old, but this has 23 million views on it, right? As we go down here, oh, that's cool. What's that? What happens in products, epoxy resin over 4 years. Okay, this is just like a comparison type of video. But you can see here how they just put a big focus on the individual products, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you want to think about, is you want to think about how can I take a good enough picture that expresses this from the outside and shows people what it is that I'm going to show them how to make, or that they can watch me make, whatever your approach is. Oh, that's cool. Resin keyboard keys.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, but the idea is just identification, right? So when the people that you're trying to reach, which is people that are interested in like resin projects, for those people, what you want to happen is you want, when your video shows up on, you know, YouTube's homepage or suggested videos, you want people to say, I want that. I want to learn how to make that, right? Because they're impressed by the actual imagery itself, right? Think of the thumbnail like it's an advertisement of sorts for the product that you're making, right? So like, how can I take a really good picture so that when somebody sees this, they're going to be like, oh, I want to make that, right? So I would work on that. So really quick, says, how come some channels that don't have thumbnails, no camera, no mic, and they get some decent views, and I try to do the eye-catching thumbnails and the mic and struggle to get views? So some people are doing the thing, and by doing the thing, some people are able to capture people's attention even with a screenshot, or the topic of the video itself is something that is, widely interesting, or just the content creator themselves, after they've built a little bit of an audience, people just really respond to their content at a high level once they click into it, right? So sometimes story is going to be better than your microphone quality. Sometimes a screenshot, like the reference that we always make about Dry Creek Wrangler School, like in his case, you know, he started off with screenshots. I'm not sure if he still is, but he started off with just like screen grabs from his videos. But his storytelling is so great, and he was talking about things that were super relatable to people, and you could clearly see that from the outside, and people would click on his content, go in, and they just loved his videos.
Yep,
and I'm
same.
pretty sure he launched that when people were inside too, didn't he?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
same. Yeah, he's the same screenshots.
Yeah.
Just an interesting
Yeah,
dude
still
with a
doing
beard.
it. Yeah. So when it comes to that, you know, his story, for the people that do click into those, they carry the weight. And then YouTube's like, hey, people are really loving this video once they get into it, so let's show it to even more people. And then they just keep doing that. So also keep in mind that, you know, there's a difference between, you know, having the equipment and using the equipment. And, you know, all of us have to, you know, deal with this sometimes. But there's a difference in like having the equipment and using the equipment and using it in a way that's effective for the people that we're trying to reach and what we're trying to do on our channels, right? So there's that too. Yeah, like here, right? You have like another Crab's Treasure first look.
Are you showing something?
Yeah, I'm just looking at his channel real quick. And then Ultimate Homestead mod. Lies of P overturns boss rush. The real challenge begins. Watch till the end. Yeah, even things like that, right? Like in the packaging, like how you have like watch to the end, stuff like that. Like those are things that you don't want to put in titles because it doesn't matter, right? Like people are going to go in regardless if you're telling them to watch the end or they're not. They are going to watch it for as long as they are interested in it. And by telling them to watch the end, that isn't going to, you know, especially in the title, it's not going to make people watch to the end.
Yeah, and as you said, sometimes the idea is just a spectacular idea, and it's put together with a great title. And an interesting thing is, you can put in a ton of work and have all of the best gear, and do all the things that you're doing it to the best of your ability, and still lose, and still put out something that doesn't work because maybe your idea wasn't there, or maybe the thumbnail in your brain, you're like, man, I nailed it with the thumbnail. I mean, I do that sometimes. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna crush. I'm not, this video, if I don't have 10,000 views by the time I wake up, I did something wrong. You wake up and it's like, 1,000 views. Like, well, I missed on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you think that you're doing all the right stuff and you just miss, So, and then sometimes people just like, they have the idea, and some people are really good at naturally putting stuff together too. That happens.
Yeah.
Some of us struggle and we're in the trenches, slugging it out video to video, and some people just kind of have a natural way of figuring it out, and off they go.
Yep.
But, the idea has to be there, and that idea has to be packaged, even if it's just a screenshot. It's the right image with the right idea with the right title, and that combination just works.
Yep. Yeah, and other things too, like I don't know if you are, like editing these, or because like I just clicked on this like Crab Souls one. And like on this one, it shows like a little crab logo. And I know it's the first look, but it has like aggro crab with like a logo.
Are you supposed to be showing something?
And then it's just, no, because I'm watching a video. And then it's just like just a super slow pan down. And then like the logo comes in, and then it shows the thing. And then you're just like sitting there on the menu. So I don't know. You're probably talking during this part. I hope. I'm just going to hit the transcript real quick and see. Yeah, you are. Okay, so oh, no, you don't start talking for a minute. Yeah, so basically you like on the first minute you come into this like loading screen, and then it looks like, at least according to your transcript, that your conversation doesn't start until you're at the minute mark. That's got to be wrong. Let me hit my captions. Oh no, it is. Yeah, so little things like that, right? Like if you go into your like audience retention, for example, like if this ends up getting more views, you go into your audience retention. Retention on that video, I'm going to guess that, in that first minute where you're not saying anything and everything's just like super slow moving, you have it sitting with no motion hardly on the screen to choose new game and all that stuff. You're going to lose a ton of people during that. So, when possible, like on the game that you just launched, or the video you just published, as soon as it starts, you have like a character running through something. I would do more of that type of stuff to where you bring people into like what it is that you're doing, and see if they respond, better to that.
Next.
Yep.
You still have questions?
But instead of thinking about it from a technical standpoint, like why do people, like some people use thumbnails and they, or don't use thumbnails and they still get the thing. So, most people that do that, they don't. But there are some people that, they have other things that they excel at, and it's those things that carry the weight for them. So, because of that, instead of thinking of it from that technical standpoint, start thinking of it through the lens of like, okay, if I'm trying to reach people that are interested in these games, then in that case, how can I package this up in a way that's going to be compelling for those people? So like, hey, here's the speed run. That's one thing. Or, hey, here's a first look at this game. Here's a first look at this game. That's one way to package it. Or there is the, this is the funnest game I've ever played, right? Which is a completely different way to package it that makes it a little bit more interesting from the outside. But even with that, you have to start delivering as soon as they go into the video itself.
It's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, keep working on it. Keep working on it.
And
it's
that's
tough.
assuming that all of the views they're getting are organic.
Mm-hmm.
You never know where they're getting their views.
So next up, we have Save with Crypto. Save with Crypto. They do daily content. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do crypto trading and crypto how-tos. The goal of the channel is to make money. Figured that with the crypto channel, right? And the question is, my subscribers are great, but I find it hard to attract new subscribers. How can I improve that? And also, another question here says, is being an older YouTuber a disadvantage or an advantage? So it doesn't matter. So, if you're an older content creator, people can still respond to you in the same way they respond to others. So, there's a lot of older content creators on YouTube. And
I think being an older creator is a superpower.
Yeah, there's some wisdom built into it.
There's some wisdom built into that.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're generally going to appeal to an older demographic for a lot of the niches, which
so
means
you don't have to be all super like over hypey and crazy
which
editing.
Means you
and, like,
technically might make more money with ad revenue.
Yep.
Technically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on this one, the question again, I'm sorry, was subscribers are great, but I find it hard to attract new subscribers. So when it comes to new subscribers, people are going to subscribe based on the value that you're getting from your content, of course. And when it comes to that, you know, as you get more views, then you'll start increasing your subscriber counts too. So like right here, like I'm looking at your views recently. You know, we're looking at like 100 views a video, you know, over the last like 10 days. Some of them went over that, you know, a little bit, but, you know, it's kind of, you know, if we were to average everything out, you know, around that area. So because of that, just think it's scale, right? Like I don't have a lot of people interacting with them right now. So because of that, I can't really expect much on the return yet. And, you know, just make sure that you are thinking, you know, scale wise there. But like right now, one thing that I would be doing is you're publishing a lot, you know, 5 days ago, 4 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 hours ago. This video recently is about Bitcoin plummeting to 57K. And then you have, I think that's the only one. Yeah, well, it bounced soon. So that was 5 days ago. So yeah, I would be trying to ride this, you know, the whole, you know, Bitcoin drop right now. I'd be trying to ride that like crazy right now, you know, with a crypto channel.
Yeah.
And you're doing the right thing on that particular video, your most recent one. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. On the most recent one for, you know, having like the Bitcoin imagery in there to help them be able to identify it, you know, showing the graph on here, all that stuff's good. But one thing I would stop doing, I mean, you can keep this in there if you want, but for your titles, I don't think you're adding any value at all by having the emojis in here. And it's probably taking you some time, too, to actually go and find those emojis and bring them in. But it's not really, you know, adding much to what it is that you're offering, right? So instead, I would just make these just really easy to read. Instead of trying to have these emojis that I'm guessing you're using to capture attention, just use, you know, what's here to capture attention. And you're already doing that here with, like, the Bitcoin logo. And with all of these, I would be putting, you know, Bitcoin imagery in every video that you publish, or at least whatever coins it is that you're talking about. I would make sure that you're putting the imagery, kind of like how you have this tap card right here, right? Same thing there. You're just putting a big focus on that imagery to help people that are interested in Bitcoin be able to identify that this has something to do with Bitcoin at a glance. And even here, like 57.5K or lower question mark, and then you have Bitcoin there. I think that's okay. But you know, is Bitcoin over, or is Bitcoin dead, or something like that is a much more compelling, you know, thing to grab attention compared to 57.5K or lower. Even little details like this, like you have 57.5K, and I'm getting into like nuanced stuff here, but like 57.5K from a readability standpoint is a little bit more difficult to go through than just rounding it to 58 or 57, right? So it's just complicating that just a little bit in terms of people being able to, you know, capture everything they need at a glance, right? So I would just work on that type of stuff. And even here, my ban is lifted. So if this is a ban for a, you know, this exchange or whatever, then same thing here is I would, you know, just think of, you know, logos, things like that, that's going to help people, you know, identify it. Collecting my rewards from exchange or not, and then I was banned. Yeah, this is also like a lot about you, right? Like you're collecting your rewards from the exchange, then you were banned. My, you know, ban was lifted, but what about, you know, XMEX and XMEX? So yeah, like I would also try to make this more about the viewer, right? So like, you know, like this place banned me. Here's why, so you don't get banned. Right. So then you start making the videos more about the viewer. I would start doing that kind of stuff too, in order to just kind of, you know, try to raise your floor up a little bit. But yeah, when it comes to this stuff, especially with what it is that you're doing, like in crypto, like just leverage the imagery hard. Like if you go and you look at other big crypto channels, you're going to see that. You're going to see that, you know, most of them, you know, they got, you know, Bitcoin logos or, you know, whatever coin it is, they have, you know, the logos, you know, in the thumbnails, all that, all the imagery is just focused on that. They're really enticing with, you know, the way they're packaging stuff like, you know, Bitcoin, you know, is Bitcoin dead, and, you know, things like that, or will Bitcoin recover? You know, those types of things are a little bit more clear and easy to ingest than 57.5K or lower, you know, as an example. So I'd work on that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Next up, we've got Echoes of God's Love is the next question here. So we have really quick. So it looks like we have some age stuff going on in here. So yeah, we have Pixel Nuts Creative is the 50 plus club. Monique says 29 to 33 years of experience. We got Gen X here for Amy. Older YouTubers, all relative. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. So yeah, and I know just in general that we definitely have some some folks similar to us in here, right? The crowd's a little bit older. So Echoes of God's Love is American English with Brent, turned 50 in November. Sorry, nice, love it. So Echoes of God's Love is the next channel. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than a month. Hey, welcome to the creator side of YouTube. It's great. They do Christian faith content. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and be a full-time creator. The question is, how do I get more views and how do I reach my content worldwide? So as a new content creator, the very first thing that I recommend is just embracing the fact that you're new to all this and embracing the idea, because you have one video 3 weeks ago and another video a day ago in terms of the long form content. And let me wait for the dates to show up. And it looks like you're publishing more shorts on the channel. So that's a good start to get you practicing and trying to figure out what people, respond to and things like that. So that's good. But when it comes to your long form content, yeah, just focus on just trying to learn how to make content right now. So when it comes to having a new channel on YouTube, if you've never done something like this before, like there's a lot that you have to learn and get good at on YouTube. And if you haven't made videos before, just going through the process of learning how to make content that other people that will matter to other people. That's a huge part of getting results on YouTube. So because of that, right now I would focus on that side of things. And for example, you have Come Read Along. It's beautiful, and don't forget to thank him in terms of your video here that you just published. But for this, there's no information here. So Come Read Along. It's beautiful. Doesn't tell me anything. And then don't forget to thank him also doesn't tell me anything. So you have here that it's Echoes of God's Love. So, I'm going to assume, because I'm looking at the channel name, that this by don't forget to thank him, that you're meaning God. So because of that, I would make it just clear here, right? Instead of don't forget to thank him, don't forget to thank God. And even with that, you got to think, okay, like why would somebody click on a video that is just titled "Don't forget to thank God"? Because there's no reason to click on that. Like you could have made a community post, right? That says that same exact thing. And then in addition to that, it's a 57-second long video. This one's 32 seconds. So yeah, right now I would just work on, go look at other channels who make content like yours and work on, what it is that you're offering with the content. Any additional ideas there, Dee?
Well, you have to give people a reason to care. Right. That's the main thing. And a lot of times, especially we're just getting started, we haven't figured that out yet, right? We're looking at YouTube and like, oh, I have this idea. I'm going to put the idea up there. Wow, nobody's watching my idea. Nobody's watching my video. Well, it's because one, it takes time. It takes more than 2 videos to get the ball rolling. But you have to package an idea. You have to have an idea that people are going to be interested in. And especially when you're first getting started, people don't know you. You need to be descriptive or have some layer of curiosity in there. So when people, if they're scrolling, let's just say they're laying there, they're scrolling through, something about your thumbnail and your title needs to stop them. And they go, oh yeah, I want to watch that video. Either because I'm interested in the topic or because, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what the answer to that's going to be. Ooh, how did they do that? Whatever it may be. And that's kind of a difficult thing to wrap your head around when you're getting started is how to present those ideas in a way that make people stop scrolling. But that's part of being a creator. Right. That's the journey that you're on. Your favorite creator, no matter what size they are right now, they started in a place where they didn't know anything. And they had to figure out, okay, well, how do I get people to click on a thumbnail? How do I put ideas together that people are going to be interested in? And like Nick said, the best thing you can do if you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start, is find channels that are doing what you want to do. Yeah. Right? You've probably seen a channel that's doing what you want to do, and you go, I want to do that. Yeah. And look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. How are they? And
really analyze, literally take notes.
Right.
Literally take notes.
Right. What do their thumbnails look like? How are they putting their titles together? What are their ideas? If I click on the video, what's happening in the first 30 seconds? And then what's happening in the next minute? And how are they putting this stuff? You need to decode what successful channels are doing if you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just
And even when you know what to do, like that's just a good
even
way
then,
to stay
yeah.
sharp too.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just throwing stuff up there and hoping that. And here's the thing, hoping that something sticks.
Yep.
And the problem is because you don't decode anything, you don't know what works. You won't know why something sticks.
Yep.
So you're just throwing stuff, and you get a hit, and you won't even realize that it's a hit. Or maybe you're like, oh, that one got views, but you can't replicate it because you don't know why.
Yep.
But that's okay. You're not supposed to know everything out of the gate.
Yep.
It's a process that
And you never really know everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a process. We all go through it. We're all. He's in the same spot. I'm in the same spot. Mr. Beast is in the same spot. Everybody on YouTube, we're all in the same spot, figuring out our own thing.
I love that you put us in the Mr. Beast category. That was
Well,
great.
no, I'm just doing the scale.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I'm doing the scale.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the extreme side of the scale.
Right.
Yeah,
But it's relative. My point being, it's relative. Like the things that you're figuring out.
Right.
I'm figuring out my things. He's figuring out his things. Yep. The biggest creators on the platform are figuring out their things.
Yep.
It's all relative.
Yep.
Well, why did
And how to make that next video great.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, it's just the thing that we all have to go through. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. But just keep going. Keep going. Study the channels that are succeeding.
Kadok, what's going on, man? Hope you are doing great. Alvin, nice to see you here. Hope you're doing awesome. So next up, we have, we did Echoes of God's
That's right.
Love already.
Success leaves clues.
It does.
You got it.
Does. Lots of clues. So the Car Advisor Classics is the next question. They do daily content. They do classic cars. Goal of the channels to make money. And the question is, it's almost impossible to get fully monetized on shorts needing 10 million views and a 90-day requirement. Facebook was easy to get monetized on. I have great interaction with my viewers and over 40% return viewers. Any thoughts on how I can get more easily monetized and other ways to earn? So let me see if you're doing any long form content or if you're just doing shorts. Oops.
Yeah, that's a tough one for people trying to get monetized on shorts on
Yeah.
YouTube. Not impossible, but
Oh, they didn't put the slash in there. That's why
you
it's
need
not
to be
coming up.
hitting home runs
Yeah.
consistently.
All right. Okay. So you're making long form videos. Oh, you have made long form videos in 3 years. Okay. So yeah. So if you're trying to get into that partner program, it's possible in shorts, but like you said, it can be challenging. So because of that, if you have it in you and you are interested in it, then in that case, I would definitely start making longer form content as well. And that is because, as you have shorts to do well, because some of these, you guys have like, real views on some of these shorts. And as people are interacting with these, some people are going to be like, oh, this is good stuff. Let me go and see if they have additional content too. And then that will give you the opportunity to also, have some stuff for them, but also start showing up on people's home pages, with the cool cars that you're covering. Because like with what it is that you're doing, like some of these cars are like awesome looking. So with that, I would definitely, consider making long form content. But if you're not interested in that, then in that case, when it comes to generating revenue from this, yeah, right now you're kind of locked into YouTube ad revenue, right? Because you do have 44,000 subscribers. I'm not sure what you've done on the watch time side in your other videos, if you're in the partner program or not. Let me pull this up real quick. So I'm not sure if you are, in the partner program or not. If you are, then in that case, making long form videos is definitely a way to, make money. You can, if you're in the partner program, you can use YouTube Shopping affiliate here as a part of this if you are monetized. And then that way, if there is a particular part or something like that you're showing, then you could let people know about that. But outside of that, I don't think that's really what you're offering here. So the conversion on that would probably be pretty rough of, converting people into sales from that. But it's just something that you could try. Besides that, yeah, like I would really lean on the long form for this type of thing, because with the long form, like you'll get higher ad rates. In addition to that, especially with the views that you're getting, in comparison, you'll get higher ad rates over here, and it also opens you up to more things. Like for example, on shorts, if we, click into a short, any links that you put down in the video description, you can't click on those in a short. So it makes it hard even for people to support you over there.
Yeah.
Where when you're making long form content, you can put links in your video description to things like Buy Me a Coffee or to Patreon, where you offer additional, footage or, things like that. And it just gives you a lot more flexibility and ways that you can make money on YouTube. So if you are, considering, the money aspect, I would lean more into long form content, if that's something that you're interested in. If you're just trying to do it in shorts, then, trying to get monetized in shorts, or if you're already actually, no, I don't think you're monetized, because you said that
they want to get
that requirement.
They want to get monetized.
Yeah, so I would get monetized through the other side, through the long form content. And then once you get monetized there, keep making your shorts. But once you get monetized on the long form side, then when you make shorts, you'll at least be, have a few more things that you can attach to that in terms of ad revenue and possibly the affiliate. But the long form is going to be the easiest path to ad revenue. And you can also do things as an affiliate. It's easier, like I was saying before, on links in the description that people can actually click on and stuff like that to support you. That would be the approach that I would take here. But with what it is that you're doing, it's also a little bit challenging. Like if you were, like going into these people's garages and then showing them stuff, and then, as you're showing them the different cars in people's garages, you're talking about the engine, and they're like, yeah, we have this K&H, air filter and blah, blah. And you're like, hey, if you, if you, want this same, air filter setup or whatever, I'll put a link to you down in the video description. And then you have like affiliate things that, or affiliate programs that you work with that, if they make a purchase of that thing in the description, that you'll get a commission, that kind of stuff. That's the type of thing that you can do with long form content. It's going to be a little bit more challenging on the short side. Yeah, I mentioned the shorts. I mentioned the shopping works over there. It's just what he's doing. So like in your case, Larry, because you're doing like home repair stuff, it's a little bit easier there. In his case, it looks like it's more of a showcase, right? So because of that, like, that's why I was saying, like, here, what he's offering, it's a little bit more challenging, because it's like, hey, here are these cool cars, check them out. Versus if he's in the garage, I mean, technically you could do it here too, but if he's in the garage and he's spending some time on these cars, he's going through all the, all the stuff and all the customizations that they've done, then it gives him those moments to where he can highlight very specific things and then find links to those things and make them available later. That's where this really comes into play, or that's where, he could make some modifications there to be able to generate more revenue from it. But right now, though, here, yeah, just getting monetized, like you mentioned before, is challenging when it comes to shorts.
You need a lot of views.
Yeah.
Tangon in the Kitchen says it's not going to be long before the conversations at Vid Summit start, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be soon, relatively. Yep.
It'll be here before you know it.
It will. So next up, we have Watch with Pluto. Hey, Pluto. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than 6 months. They have a top 5 ranking channel. Goal of the channel is to make money. It says, hey, Nick, on my analytics, it shows my monthly audience has dropped to 0. Why is that?
To 0?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why your monthly audience has dropped to 0 outside of, nobody coming back. To where, like, if you publish videos and you just have, and you don't have much going on, and then, nobody's, like watching anything, then, that can do that. But yeah, outside of that, okay, you're doing shorts. I'm getting some views on some of these. Hold on. Let me refresh the page so I can just see some dates. It's interesting. This is the only channel that dates aren't showing on, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Wild.
You don't have them. You're not sharing it. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I was just seeing what they're doing.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, like if you think there's an error, if that's what you mean by this, then in that case, reach out to Team YouTube on Twitter. But if your just monthly audience is 0, yeah, I'd reach out to Team YouTube on that. So next up, we have AJ's Green Topic and Ruby. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for a year or more. They do gardening content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, what are your thoughts on my titles and thumbnails? Let's see what you got cooking.
Let's take a gander.
Yep.
Take a peep.
All right. Hey, and really quick, too, just as a reminder, in case you don't know this or in case you haven't seen it, I want to let you know that I made this browser extension here for YouTubers. So this is free, 100% free. So just in case you haven't seen it yet, what this does is it has these buttons here where once you put in a API key, which is the only challenging part of this, then you have like buttons that will take you directly to different pages of your YouTube channel, to answer your comments, go into your Creator Studio, all of that. Down here in the bottom, you have like daily quotes. Down here, you have a channel monitor where you can monitor the uploads of up to 18 different YouTube channels. Over here, I keep you up to date with creator news, and there's also some educational content over here. A quick launch doc to all of your different favorite websites, and this is all customizable. Over here, we have a world clock, but you can also isolate this down to just a one local clock. You can also turn these on and off. So like, for example, if you're like, yeah, I don't want the clock, then you can just turn it off. There's a to-do list in here and a content pipeline, so you can just stay on top of your publishing schedule and all of that. And then there's also some analysis tools on YouTube as well. So for example, if we go to AJ's channel and we click on this button here, then we get to see his top videos in the last 90 days, his total uploads, the average days between his uploads, what days that he's publishing. And if he's had any video pop off in the last 90 days that's done better than his other videos, then you'll see little spikes here as well, which helps you find outliers on channels. In addition to that, if you're doing research for anything, you can copy the titles, right over here and then paste them into whatever it is that you need to paste. And if you go into the comment section of any video, if we scroll down here, let's see if he's got any comments. Yeah. Then you can hit this little button right here with the camera icon. And when you hit that, it opens this screenshot thing. And you can add like borders to this, and you can color the borders, if you want to different colors. You can highlight different things. So if you want to highlight, that, then you can. But the whole thing with this is it is, just a way for you to capture comments if you add comments to your videos or anything like that. But anyway, the tool is called Creator Dashboard, and it's completely free for you as a content creator. The link for that, or the URL for that, is on the screen right now, so you can check that out if that is something that you are interested in. So let's get back to AJ here. And since I went off topic there, let me just double check his question. And the question was about his thumbnails and titles. Okay, so here we go. So on your thumbnails and titles, let's take a look at what it is that you're doing. Live stream collaboration, worm farming tips and tricks. Meet Rick and V episode 1. So I'm not getting worm farming tips and tricks from this. Well, yeah, I guess so. So, okay. Couple things. So I think the imagery is good, but I wouldn't mess it up with the Meet Rick and V episode 1, right? Because what you're doing there is you are kind of pulling attention away from the worm stuff, which is going to help worm farmers be able to, identify that or connect with it easier. In addition to that, just from a format standpoint, how this should work from a best practice standpoint is how you have live stream collaboration. One, I wouldn't put that in there at all. I wouldn't put that in there at all, because really it doesn't add anything, to this video. But if you're going to, I would take it out. And if you're going to put that, I would put it back here instead. And the reason for that is from a best practice standpoint when it comes to YouTube. Really, when it comes to anything online, you want to make sure that the thing that is the most important to the viewer is as close to the front of the title as possible, because that's going to help them more easily identify that the content is something that they might be interested in. So, like, for example, worm farming tips and tricks, episode 1. All that's fine. And then from there, when you are like, get rid of this, Meet Rick and V episode 1, worm farming tips and tricks, live stream collaborations. That's just a better way to structure your title, and it also follows best practices for your channel, or for titling when it comes to YouTube and pretty much anything online. So I would definitely fix that. Same thing here. If we look at this thumbnail. So here, you're saying try new things. So you are doing the right thing with having the worm imagery in the background, but unfortunately, you're covering it all up with this. Right, so you have the try new things, which is something that isn't really important for what it is that you're doing. And then down here, you have the worm stuff, where instead, what tools or equipment are good for a worm farm bin? If you are going to cover up the worm farm stuff, it would at least be better to, do it with the, tools and equipment that a worm farmer might, also recognize. But I think, focusing on the worms, focusing on the worm farm imagery is definitely the thing that I would do instead of covering up this. So what you want to think about is, because, you are into worm farms. So when you're putting your thumbnails together, ask yourself, okay, if this were to show up on YouTube's homepage or on a suggested video or on a mobile feed, what exactly about this, as somebody that's interested in worm farming, would help me identify it at a glance. I'm not having to think about it. I'm not having to stop on it for a minute and, try to figure it out. Instead, at a glance, what exactly about this is going to help me identify that this has something to do with worm farming, right? And I'm actually going to save image as, and I'm just going to do a worm farm here. And we're going to take this up a notch, and we're going to go to YouTube's homepage. Let me go here. Let me add this here. Go to desktop.
Yeah, I want to see the worms.
Let me find a worm farm. And we're just going to put worm farm tips and tricks just for fun. And I'm just going to put Got Worms as the channel name. Okay, so if we put this on YouTube's homepage, right? Just as this little exercise here. We're just going to put it randomly here. So it's going to do a random position. And then we hit save and apply.
Oh, Roberto's going live
Oh, is he?
tonight, Opus.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yep.
Man, they need to... Hey, Andrew, if you're still in here, yeah, when you guys schedule these, yeah, if you can get those in a little bit early, I can redirect straight to them. Okay, so did the worm farm even show up when I did that? Do you see it anywhere?
No, I don't see it. Did you hit the button?
Save and apply. Second, random position 1 through 8. Yeah, I don't see it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Wonder if there's a conflict with one of my other ones.
Way
Yeah,
to
I've got
go.
like 5 versions of everything in here. My extension stuff is kind of crazy. Here, we'll put it in a forced position. We'll just say position 2. There we go. Okay, so like right here, right? So when this is all competing against everything else, this is what I'm trying to show you here. So basically, when this is competing with everything else that somebody might be interested in, what you want is you want this to stand out to a worm farmer, because you're not just competing with other videos on your channel page when it comes to YouTube. You're competing with, this person. You're competing with this. You're competing with Doug Hoosen over here. You're competing with, this over here for the bonsai tree. Like, you're competing with all of these other things. And sometimes people are going like video to video to video to video. Other times, people are just kind of scrolling around looking for something that stands out, right? Like, hey, what do I want to watch? Saucy Secrets, what's this? How to actually edit, okay. Here, oh, hey, look, it's Mr. Beast, right? And you're just kind of scrolling around looking for something to watch. So for that, that's where you want the worms and the worm farm imagery to stand out to those people. So I would work on that when it comes to your thumbnails and titles right now.
Get him with the worms.
Yep, get them with the worms.
Show the worms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you have anything interesting like that, bugs, worms, creatures of any kind, dragons, get them in there.
Yep.
Spiders.
Yep.
One thing I really appreciate.
Did you say dragons?
Yeah.
I thought you said
Dude,
dragons.
2026.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
do-
dragons are all over the place.
We do.
Yeah.
We do dragons now.
Okay, all right.
One thing I really
Count me in.
One thing I really appreciate about creators who do spider videos, and I don't know if they do this in short form videos a lot. There's a lot of them that like talk about different types of spiders, or they're in Australia talking about these giant huntsman spiders. And one thing I really love is they'll say, if you're squeamish about spiders, you want to keep scrolling. One, that tells me that if I'm really squeamish about spiders, I need to keep scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
2, that makes me go, oh, this is going to be good.
Right.
I want to watch
Yeah,
this.
I probably should scroll, but let me check this out.
Yes. And 10 out of 10 times, I wish I would have kept scrolling because it's always something awful. Just absolutely. I saw one the other day, and it was this guy who has it's like a spider farm, and he raises these huge spiders and these things. And one of them had babies, and it was just covered with babies, and he was feeding
Baby
them.
spiders?
Baby spiders.
Nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was awful. But I was glued to it. I couldn't look away. Yeah. So thank you, spider
Did you have
people.
nightmares?
No, but I'm still talking about it.
That's probably why you didn't sleep well last night.
You don't hear me talking about the cricket video.
It's true.
You don't hear me talking about the ant video.
True.
You hear me talking about the spider baby video.
True. You got me.
Yeah. So I appreciate all you spider people out there giving us a warning.
Shout out to the spider folks.
Yeah.
The spider people.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been here before.
Yeah, we do. The spider people.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Next up on our list here.
So close.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Dr. Chandis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Does bi-weekly content, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. Type of channel is maternal and child health niche. The goal of the channel is to teach others And the question is, I've been told that my channel isn't doing well because I have so many different niches going on. I feel like even though my main niche is maternal and child health, that I could also add the occasional vlog or post about my life as well. Do you advise that I face my niche squarely? Yes. So the thing to think about is you can publish the other content on your channel, right? Like there aren't rules around that. But when it comes to, how YouTube's system works and, all of that stuff, then that's where you got to start thinking about, okay, if I publish something to my channel and it's outside of what it is that I normally offer, then what's going to happen is that YouTube's still going to show it to people. They're going to test it against the people that are most engaged in my content first. And because they're most likely to enjoy it first, which is, some of those people are usually the people most engaged in your channel. And because of that, if this is something that is outside of what, the value that they get from me, then, most of them probably aren't going to respond well to this. And then that causes YouTube, like this one, I went to Columbia alone and this is what I learned, right? So in that one, the way that you can make it relevant is instead of I went to Columbia and this is what I learned, while you're there, talk about the same stuff, right? So like, hey, so we're in Columbia. So, let's talk about how they do their, maternal stuff down here. Is it the same as they do, anywhere else?
Are you supposed to be showing them right
no.
now? Oh, okay.
But basically trying to make those videos that you make when you're traveling and things like that, make them about what it is that you offer on the channel, right? So the whole idea when it comes to YouTube, in terms of best practices for growth and stuff like that, is to think about, same audience, publish it, on that channel for that audience. So if your value that you're providing to people as a doctor is public health physician, right? Weekly tips on pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum, right? Channel art looks awesome, by the way. But weekly tips on pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum, right? So because of that, if you look at, I went to Columbia alone and this is what I learned, it just doesn't fit, right? And in addition to that, you have these 6-minute videos of like how to take care of your baby's umbilical cord. This year was different. My honest reflection of a doctor and mother. Yeah, that one's also a little bit out. Depression in Nigerian mothers, what it looks like. Okay, yeah, so here, another one. This is a long video. How to breastfeed without pain, and then another like 6 minutes and 59 seconds there. So basically you have these, quick tips that you offer on a lot of these, and then you toss in like a 45-minute vlog, right? So there's multiple layers to how this can work against you. So the very first is that it makes it hard. Like if somebody's like waiting for that next video from you, then, this isn't relevant to them and then they're not going to click on it. And they don't click on it. That tells YouTube that it's not a good fit for them, that they didn't, that they just weren't interested. When they don't click on it, you'll see things, and you probably already see them sometimes inside of your analytics where it'll say things like, your subscribers are choosing to click on this and they're watching it for a longer period of time, which is helping it get more recommendations, like that kind of, messages. And then you also see the same things where it says, your subscribers are not clicking on this as much and it's resulting in, X whatever less views. So these are the types of things that trigger those types of messages when they get, like less views. Another side problem that you can run into from this is like, let's say you publish this vlog. What you offer from the channel is like maternal support. So if you publish this vlog to the channel, let's say that this is a great vlog and you start getting a great response from this from people that are into vlogs. Well, then what happens then is now you have this video that's doing awesome on your channel. It's driving the viewership on your channel. And because of that, from then you're just getting in front of people that are interested in vlogs, maybe Bogota, right? And then when you start publishing the maternal videos again, then those start doing horribly because you're now driving the channel with a piece of content that isn't relevant to what you're actually trying to build on the channel, right? So because of that, to answer the question, more quickly, make sure that whatever it is that you're putting on the channel, if you're, trying to grow the channel and trying to do all of those things to, get the channel going in the right direction, then every video that you publish to the channel should be for a very particular type of viewer. Because you're building a channel, right? You're building a resource of content for people that are, that are needing the information that you have. So give them, make sure every video on the channel is that information. Any additional thoughts there?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Hey, take this for 1 second, Dee. I have to step away for just a second.
Yeah. I made note of a couple things that people write in the chat earlier. I don't know if they're still in there. But Mean Mr. Mayo said earlier on, it says, I have 16,000 subscribers over 14 years, but I don't ever see myself getting to 100,000 subscribers. Thoughts? Question mark. Henry Ford has an awesome quote that says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you think you can't do it, then you're probably not going to be able to do it. But the good news is, if you learn how to read your data, you can actually do it. So YouTube gives us access to tons of data. And if you've ever had anything work on your channel, especially anything within the past 90 days or so, start looking at the things that are working and just try to replicate it. You have to learn how to read your data. So if you've been doing this for 14, first of all, 16,000 subscribers, that's good. But 14 years later, you should have a really good idea of how to read your analytics and how to read things that are working on your channel. Where are your views coming from? How long are people watching? What am I doing on my videos to make people leave? Are my ideas any good? And so on. So the first place I would look, if you're still publishing, because I didn't look at your channel, I would look at your audience retention first and foremost. Because if you're getting views, I would say, okay, well, what am I doing in my videos that could be causing people to click away? And I would try to fix that. It gives us a graph that shows us where people are leaving. Try to fix that as much as you can. Try to repeat. If you had old videos that did well 2 years ago, a year ago, make an updated version if they did well. See if you can repeat that success. So you could definitely do it, but you have to think you can do it. You have to put in the work. You have to dig into your analytics, and you have to learn what works in your channel and just repeat that over and over and over and over and over. So you can definitely do it. But it sounds like you've thrown in the towel. So, but I will say this. Having 100,000 subscribers is great. Having a play button is great, Mr. Nimmin, when you finally do get your play button. But it's a vanity metric. You know, it does unlock some things early on in the journey. But other than that, getting a play button, it is a vanity metric. So focus on getting views. And Cody says, earlier, we were talking about his channel, says, I'm nervous on camera, that's why I don't show myself. Plus, I work a lot, and I don't have a lot of time, and my autism gets in the way. Sometimes I can't drive. Okay, so if you're nervous on camera, and that's a hurdle that's stopping you from making more content, then shoot content when you're not on camera. Figure out ways to shoot stuff. Film with the backside of your camera and the backside of your phone, and just talk about something that, what are we doing? Whatever, you point it at something and talk about it. You don't have to put yourself on camera to do that. Lots of people never show themselves, and they do fine on YouTube. And if you have a lot of work, well, that's fine. Maybe you need to pivot. Maybe you're making content about the wrong stuff. Document your life. Try documenting your life. What are you doing at work? Can you document the process of things that are happening to and from work? Do you have a moment in the car where you can talk and vlog or talk about something? You know, if you find that you have hurdles, and you've identified a couple, right? You don't like to show yourself because you get nervous. You work a lot. You don't have a lot of time, and sometimes your autism gets in the way. So you've identified 3 things, and I'm going to guess that the autism might have something to do with you being nervous as well, possibly. But you've identified those issues, so now you have to figure out, how do I get over these hurdles? And that means that you have to think outside of the box. Maybe you need a channel pivot. Maybe you need to film a different way, come up with different ideas. Create another channel about something completely different. Talk about autism. Talk about your struggles with autism. You know, just find a different approach. You can do it. But if you're finding these problems that are stopping you from doing it, then you either have to fix those problems or you have to find a different path.
Next up, we've got Watch with Pluto. They do daily content, goal to channels to make money. And they say, how to grow my audience. Oh, you know what? I think we did this one already. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick and we'll see. Oh yeah, we did this one already. Okay, so we'll do that.
Carol Lister, I can't read that. It's all one. Carol Lister Moment Chef. Carol Lister Moment Chef says, I am from Colombia. Nice.
Cool.
I've been all over Colombia. Love Colombia.
So Tristan's Live Gaming is the next channel. They do daily content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. It's a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the channel is about gameplay. And the question is, it just says get more audience. So in terms of a question, I'm just going to look and just see if there's anything that is glaring here.
Mom and Chef.
Okay, so you published your last video. You published 3 videos, and the last video on the channel was 8 months ago. But you do have some live streams, so it looks like you are doing some live streams a lot. So these are all just like playthrough videos. So instead of doing the name of the playthrough that you're doing, and just doing and naming all of them, night skill song playthrough, night skill song playthrough, night skill song playthrough, and then doing the episode numbers on here. Like, try to do something in the video or in the live stream. So instead of just having it as a playthrough, try to make it more about like something that you're trying to accomplish in each game. So then that way there's at least some type of value attached to it, because you have the playthroughs already, right? So people can have plenty of that to watch. Now the next thing is to think about, okay, what can I offer when I'm doing these playthroughs? So a lot of gamers will do challenges around what they do. And with those challenges, those allow them to capture people's attention. So as soon as the live stream starts, they're like, all right, so this is what we're trying to do, in this, game, or in today's stream or whatever. So, let's see, if we can pull it off. And then as they're going through, as new viewers are coming in, they're reminding them. And they're like, hey, if you're just joining us, what we're trying to do is get to blah, 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 and, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. And they kind of rinse and repeat that through. And the whole thing is it just gives people a reason to like want to stick around and watch. So because of that, I would do more of that. All right, we just cleared the responses. Woo! So now,
all right.
Yep. So now we are going to go into lightning round here for a few minutes. So if you have any questions, anything like that, you can go ahead and drop them into the chat now, and we are just going to pull these straight out of the chat here for the next few minutes. With this, these are more questions. In some cases, we'll pull up channels. But yeah, if you have anything that any questions or anything like that, go ahead and drop them in here. If not, that's okay too. But this is actually, lightning rounds are one of my favorite parts because I tend to be wordy, and with the lightning round, it kind of forces me to, kind of be a little bit more snappy.
Be a little
so
snappy.
Yep.
A little quicker.
Yep. Have some bad news for you after the stream, by the way.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I got it
okay.
too. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was checking on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I got it.
Okay, here we go. Any tips for me for getting views on this account? So let's see what it is that you got. And I'm just going to do a quick look at. And when it comes to the lightning round too, as well, when it comes to tips, it's just like one tip if we give something. Okay, so right here. So in your case, join my SMP Realm 121 Bedrock Edition 2025 codes. Okay, so with these, look at what you did here. Okay, that's probably what you're doing 10 months ago. So yeah, so step one, just make these characters just super, big, make them take up a lot of this right here. And instead of doing George SMP is back, a lot of people aren't going to know what that is. So because of that, make it more about, whatever it is that you are doing, here. Bedrock Edition 2025 codes would be a much better thing to put in your thumbnail there. Next.
Clarity.
Yep.
Clarity in the thumbnails.
Any suggestions for community posts? Yep. Let's go look at your community right now and just see what it is that you are already doing.
Polls. People love polls.
Yeah, they do.
People love polls.
Oh, you're not even using the community post feature right now.
Oh, my
okay.
goodness.
Yeah, so when it comes to community posts, here's some things that you can use it for. Sharing videos, but you don't have, like your videos are all old videos on your channel, so you don't have that right now. But when it comes to community posts, asking questions to learn more about your viewers, sharing, you can use it as outbound messaging in terms of like if I'm not feeling well or something and I'm not streaming, then I use that as a way to let people know. Because I know, there's people that, that show up here every single week. Hey, thank you guys, by the way. And so because of that, if I'm not going to be able to stream, then I post that message in my community feed so that people know. So you can use it for outbound like that. You can use it to link to older videos and playlists on the channel. So for those of you that do have content on your channels, if you have videos that have proven well on your channel in terms of people have responded well to them, then what you can do is you can make community posts and you can say, hey, you know, people really enjoyed this. If you're new to the channel, maybe you haven't seen it yet, you know, this is what it's about, you know, check it out. And then by doing that, you're kind of re-engaging people in that content as well, which is awesome. You can do the same exact thing with playlists. You can even design playlists of like, you know, 2 or 3 videos that you send people into about a very specific, you know, topic. In addition to that, you can share behind the scenes stuff where you like post images and all that. Like Dee was talking about, you can do polls that are text polls, image polls, all of that. But yeah, just you know, using those to just engage with people that, you know, that are watching your content. And also, you know, some of those people aren't subscribers either. Like you can actually gain subscribers from your community feed, and a lot of people don't know that. So next up, we've got. Should you change your thumbnail every live stream, even though you're playing the same game, is the next question here. And with this one, yeah, if you're trying to use your live streams to grow your channel, then yes. If you're doing what we do here, like this particular live stream is more of a service live stream for people that are already interacting with the content. So because of that, I don't use these to try to grow the channel. In some cases, I take a loss on these streams. So because of that, if you are using them to actively grow your channel, then yes, absolutely, you should package each individual one separately and offer something different with each one. That gives you the opportunity to reach different people that are interested in the nuances of what it is that you offer. So yeah, so packaging everything up differently is definitely a good call. Does YouTube let you put unpublished videos up on your channel trailer? I can't see that it does. Yes, it does. So you, it's actually recommended that you upload trailers as unlisted because it's not actual content for your viewers and the viewers that you're trying to reach. So when you upload your trailer as an unlisted video, then you can assign it to that trailer spot. I uploaded shorts about magic and stuck around 1,000 views. Okay, keep going, keep going. Any advice about using Amazon affiliate links efficiently? Absolutely. So when it comes to affiliate links of any kind on a YouTube channel, you got to make sure that you're making videos about things. If you're trying to increase the amount of people clicking on your links, you want to make sure that you're making videos about things that people make purchases around. So for example, I see that your channel is wildlife. So if you are publishing videos about your, you know, wildlife, oh, let me just see what you're doing real quick. Okay, so here you have like who lives in a floodplain forest, scavengers, and predators of the IP Switch River riverbed. So okay, so with these videos, they're going to be very low intent in terms of if a viewer is interacting with this content, the likelihood of them purchasing something is going to be low because they're probably coming in to see, you know, the details on the owl and, you know, stuff like that. However, the thing that you just mentioned about you are going to be doing wildlife video equipment coming up, that is where, yes, if you're doing like, you know, how to record, you know, your, you know, wildlife around your area or around your land or whatever the thing is, then yeah, absolutely, because the people clicking on that video, they're going to be interested in that. And that means that some of those people are going to be okay to make a purchase in order for that thing that they're trying to do to be possible. So by making that type of content, then yes. Additional things that you want to do with that when it comes to deciding the type of content to make is go up into the YouTube search bar, start looking around for anything related to people that are looking for wildlife equipment. So for example, wildlife video
equipment.
Yep. Okay, so right here, I just hopped into YouTube search.
You're going to show it? There you go.
Yep. And I use the YouTube autocomplete, and I see that people are looking for wildlife equipment. So we're going to turn on this. Pro wildlife photography gear, what gear I use for my photography work. Building the perfect wildlife camera rig, right? So these are the types of videos that will have a higher intent of the viewer to where, you know, coming into this video, you know that there might be stuff that you might need. Therefore, if you are really trying to figure out the best ways to do that, then you're going to be more open to making a purchase, right? So this type of stuff is going to be great for, you know, for what it is that you're trying to do, is answering these questions. But you want to do the same thing to where you just go up into the, you know, YouTube autocomplete bar and try to come up with any possible way that people are looking for wildlife video equipment or wildlife video solutions, and make videos on that content. And then by making that content, you're increasing the likelihood that that, you know, people will come in there and make a sale. And you'll make a sale. Home Rapid Repair says, I removed my short shelf on my channel page. That's what you recommended for creators that only care about VODs. Yeah, so when it comes to the short shelf on your channel page, the reason I recommend that people remove that is because, one, if somebody's trying to get into the partner program, they want to make sure they're funneling people into additional long-form content because that's going to be the way that they get there through the watch time. In addition to that, if a content creator is already in the partner program, they're going to get more ad revenue if they send people into a long-form video on their channel page than if they send people into the short shelf. Same exact thing for, you know, a lot of different scenarios. So because of that, YouTube has the navigation option there for shorts. And if somebody's interested in the shorts and they want to click on that, then they can. But the thing is when it comes to shorts, like here, I'll just go to your channel and show you. Home rapid repair.
You're pulling him up.
Actually, it's going to be a little bit different on a thing here. The visual's different, but the flow is the same. Okay, so here I am on your channel and I'm watching a short, right? So if I click on your channel name here, then it takes me to your shorts page, right? Now, if I'm watching a video on your channel, right? So I'm going to click into this one and I'm watching a video on your channel and then I click here because I'm like, wow, this is super helpful. He really helped me solve this problem with my window shades. And then I click here to see what else it is that you offer. Now it takes me to your main channel page, right? So because of that, if you make more ad revenue, you know, here and in your case, because you sell stuff from your videos. So if you also get, you know, higher conversions, all that stuff coming from your long form content, then in that case, losing somebody to getting distracted from a short here could literally cost you money. So because of that, removing, you know, those shorts from your channel page is definitely a good idea so that people don't get distracted by it. So it's possible, you know, people will just go right past it and it won't be a big deal. But the thing that you don't want to happen is you don't want them to land on your channel page, you know, expecting to go find another video to watch. But instead they're like, oh, wonder what happened in here.
Ball.
And then it's over, right? And then they're in there watching shorts, right?
Ball.
So that's the whole idea with removing them from your channel page.
Yeah. For everyone listening, that does not mean everyone needs to remove shorts from their channel page.
Yeah.
You need to know what your intention is for the channel. If he's trying to make money, which specifically he has products to sell, then it
and you just get higher ad rates and stuff from like long form content.
Yeah.
So like you know, YouTube has the clear paths for people to find shorts, and because of that, you know, it doesn't make sense for a content creator that is, you know, publishing long form content to try to get people into YouTube Shorts from their main page. So on that note, hey Ash, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing awesome, man. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing amazing. Nice to see you in here. So on that note, I do want to remind you, if you are a content creator, you're hitting a wall, right? You're not getting the views that you want right now, or you know, you're just having a hard time. I just want to remind you that it's important to look at YouTube like the learning curve that it is. Just like if you start a new job, you start a new hobby, anything that you do, you know, you have this learning process that you have to go through to get up to speed. YouTube is the same exact way. There's a lot of skills involved with YouTube. Like it's definitely something that some people just intuitively, they understand it, you know, better, a little bit faster. For other people, you know, it can just take more time just based on the skills that, you know, that they've come from. So because of that, just embrace the learning curve, embrace where you're at in the learning curve, and look for ways to improve. So there's tons of YouTube help content out there. I make it, you know, on my channel too, but it's really important to make sure that you don't get lost watching tons of YouTube help videos and not doing anything, because that's what a lot of people do. Instead, if you watch YouTube help videos, then make sure that you're also watching videos and practicing around things that you are around skills that you're actively trying to improve on. So for example, if you're watching a YouTube help video, instead of just watching a video about, you know, this new algorithm update, blah, 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 instead of watching a video like that, watch a video on like, okay, how do I make better thumbnails?
Yeah.
Right? Those are the types of videos that you want to watch, because your skills and your understanding of how things work, like once you start learning how to make thumbnails and you start looking around YouTube, you're going to be able to start saying like, oh, that's a really bad thumbnail, or that's a really good thumbnail, because you're going to know what to look for. So those are what your skills do for you, is they help you be able to see things in a different way. So keep working on your skills. Hang in there. You got this. You can do it.
You can
do it. Yep. Hang in there. You got this. Have a great rest of your weekend. Dee, great stream. If you enjoyed this, we will be here next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern as well as when we get started. And have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see you next time.
And Roberta Blake is going live on the Opus Clips channel.
And I'm actually going to drop a link to that in here as well. So he's not going live for another hour, but I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to that as well. Thank you, Dee.
Yeah. I'm not even getting paid.
Yep.
to say that, by
Yep.
the way.
Roberto's
Opus
stream.
clips. Put some coffee in the cup.
Yep. So right here, yeah. So I just dropped it into the chat, so you can go over and check out Roberto's stream as well. They're going to be starting here in about an hour.
He's
so
so
make sure you go
knowledgeable.
ahead and get scheduled for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's also talking about the Opus feature also, which is cool. But yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Oh, also, we got a bunch of helpful stuff down in the video description for you too. So make sure that you check that on your way out.